What's up? You've tuned into the Kokomo Press Podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Grainger, and this week I'm joined by the rest of the Kokomo Press. Ladies and gentlemen, Hypocrisy Jones, Cortni Richardson, and Brian Allen West. We're all sitting in on the panel with me, and we use this as a year-end review. Like, we went over the things that we had going on. We used this to air grievances. Yeah, we wanted to talk to each other about things that have been frustrating, including something that happened this last week at our open mic that was absolutely insane, just a wild story, and how, like, we may have all thought we felt differently about how things went. It was very fun. But we also talked pop culture stuff, including the WNBA and what's going on there with their expansion team and Caitlin Clark and all that. But we also talked about the United CEO who got... We talked about the Kindler and things going on there, some stuff with Blue Cross Blue Shield. We talked about the snack wrap and the bringing back of that through McDonald's, which is pretty cool. We kind of got into a lot of different things. But on top of that, we just had a good time going back and forth. So if you enjoy episodes like this, make sure you do me a huge favor and you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, do all the things that help us get to seen, because when we get seen, then, you know, we know you're there and we know what you're thinking and you can give us your opinions and we appreciate that. It's the best part of doing something like this. But hang out with myself, Cortni Richardson, Hypocrisy Jones, and Brian Allen West as we do a year-end review / air some grievances on this episode of the Kokomo Press Podcast, baby. Woo!
Warning, this video contains adult content not suitable for children.
$26 to $28 ounces of...
I'm rich, guys. It's
Of
fine.
what? Coffee?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got, what's yours? Is that 20 ounces of Red Bull?
Yeah.
How many of those do you drink a day?
2.
Holy fuck, dude.
And there's probably, I don't know.
my God.
I don't know how much caffeine's in
I didn't
Thai
really
tea.
get. I got the pumpkin.
This one's so much better.
Yeah, it's good. But I already had that one in, so I was like,
Well-
whatever. It was because I'm using DoorDash, so it doesn't have everything on there.
Yeah.
So I just used the one they had.
Well, the pumpkin one I was really into for a minute there when the shit started, but then once this one came out and I tried this one, I'm like, God, this is so. It's like there's a flavor to it that I don't understand. It's so good. It's got this. The gingerbread is just so good.
That gingerbread.
Yeah.
I haven't tried the gingerbread. I need to try it.
That's
It
what
looks
I
really
got
good.
Friday. It was good.
It's the best one.
I like getting that lemon. I like getting the food there. I don't like their sandwiches. Those are fucking microwavable nasty, but I
No.
like their desserts and stuff.
Like-
Cake pops. And
I just got a cake
bumps.
pop.
you gotta get a cake pop.
For some reason, their chocolate croissant is so fucking good. It's got like
Yeah,
a
those are
perfect
good.
buttery flavor to
I've
it.
eaten that before.
So buttery, flaky, crusted croissant.
I always get the little breakfast sandwiches.
Yeah. It reminds me, I don't know if there's like an old comedy bit, but somebody used to like buttery, flaky. It's like a buttery, flaky croissant. And I was like, why are you bringing that up?
So Matt and I have the same DoorDash account. He just texted me
saw
and said, $20 on a Starbucks drink. You're fucking ridiculous.
That's what it costs. I mean, and you gotta
well, technically, I asked him to come bring it to me first. So,
Yeah.
And you got a
That's what you
cake
should
pop.
say.
and I got a cake pop.
$20.
Should have been at $8 if you'd have brought it. That's what you should have told him. So actually, it's double because Matt Dash is closed.
Yeah.
So if Matt Dash was open, we wouldn't have this problem. It's actually your problem. That's what you should say. It's actually your fault. I don't know why this light's not working all of a sudden, by the way.
It's cool.
That's out.
I don't think
shit.
it's out. I think there's something. I think there's like a plug fucked up. Like I had to run some shit because my plug is fucked up over here now. I need to just go figure it out. But it's not properly marked down in the in the fucking. You know what I'm talking about. The fuse box isn't properly marked for this room.
Oh.
So it's like, but it's not off. It doesn't show that it's off. So it's just fucking weird, dude. This house is so fucking old.
Are your lights behind you not working too? Or are they just off?
These ones, I never have them on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I typically have that one and that's it. But then I added this to give the ambiance, and it's like, I don't know. Just
I like it dark.
I do too.
Yeah.
I like, yeah.
More of a club vibe.
Yeah.
You're looking at Brian.
We all
Oh,
fan
sure.
in the club.
Fantasy.
No. Our press page.
Oh, I thought you said fan.
Scroll 'em.
I thought you said fantasy shit, like you were looking at how to get a $700 sex doll for free.
Dude, if I really want, I'll just take it. No,
I know.
just
You're like,
He wants
Scraper
you
joke
to.
ain't doing bad, though.
no.
the double.
I was never worried about that joke. It was more like, wow, why isn't this? It's been steady. It's been a very steady, weird joke. I'm like, it's very relatable.
Well, it's been relatable multiple days. I think that's the thing.
The Christmas
That-
parade's about to be 200.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah, that was wild.
You guys did not go.
No.
No,
It looked like it. No, I didn't go.
I didn't go either. But my daughter, she went. So,
Yeah.
yeah, because she's in softball and shit.
I just ate a bunch and watched Week Hair. Went to the Week Hair store last night and just kind of hung out. I did.
Was the week here? Was everything this weekend?
Yeah,
It was this weekend.
I do think it would be cool if maybe next year, and it's not. We don't have. I mean, we don't have to be expensive at all. But like maybe donate a couple things because you can donate, and then you can be like in. Kokomo Press, the Kokomo Press,
Hey.
and that just gets our name out there. I think that's neat. And
So next year we'll donate the sex doll.
they take it.
No.
Oh, dude.
We can't have our sex
So
doll.
I did have an idea I was going to tell you guys about at some point, but I thought maybe, you know how they donate their doll every year? Like you have to buy it.
Yeah.
We use it as like every year we donate our sex doll. Like,
You want to auction off as gross as this is.
no.
No, people will use it. You're wrong. This is.
We take it, we put in one of our garage, and then we just auction it off again.
All right, we open it up for half an hour. We open up that
We
door
all
for half
win
an
the
hour.
auction every single time.
No, I don't want to win. I just let some dude pay us to keep it for a week.
If it's just an anonymous name, and then we find out Brian's just fucking it over
Yeah,
and over, and over again.
Hey, money in the bank. That's all.
It's
I wanna
usually
Since it's considered a sex toy, I'm pretty sure that's considered like solicitation.
damn.
they gonna arrest her?
No, they would arrest
Hold
us.
up.
Oh,
Anything you can fit in a vagina is a sex toy or an ass.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Hairbrushes.
If that was the case, you wouldn't be able to buy sex dolls in the first place.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you can't do it like.
Used.
I don't think you can sell
No.
it. Yeah.
I mean, we don't expect people to fuck it. I mean,
Yeah.
Pause.
Expect.
We do expect people to probably fuck it because
I don't want anybody to fuck it.
but nobody's forcing them to.
I mean,
like
yeah.
they don't have to.
It's not a requirement.
No,
It's
we
like
just-
when you get an expensive call girl.
Yeah,
It's like they're just spending time with you. If it happens, it's out of their own. It has nothing to do with the payment.
Yeah,
if they
That's what
like you,
say.
they will fuck you up, but they don't have to. I'd be so pissed. That's how it happens. Because it's like, I just spent $600 on you. You're not going to tell me I'm a nice guy and play Uno with me.
right.
This is
Brian's psyche right now.
this is happening.
I paid $600 to you.
Yeah,
This is happening.
I got to cut out all the already because you guys have said it so many times.
no means no, but money means fuck yes.
Yeah. How much money is it? That's the thing, man. That's
Consensually.
That's why it's not legal. You guys just explain the problem why it's not legal right there. Because like, let's say like it gets set up. You said like, it's not, like let's say you're on a website. It's a normal website. They're like, hey, I want your time and I want obviously the happy ending at the end. And they like, blah, here's the amount of money. And then at the end of the night, they're like they go to meet the guy and he's like gross and they're like, ugh, like I can't, like it's not for me. Then at that point, that's when the situation goes crazy. That's why you can't make it legal because it just ends up being
But when I
bad.
sold
Are we
Pure
rolling right
Romance,
now?
it was
Yeah.
like the weird thing.
What?
When I sold Pure Romance, it was like that. Like you can't have, I couldn't sell anything to a man because it would be considered sexual. Like it would be like prostitution or some shit. I don't fucking know.
I would
Wait, what?
appreciate if you took that
Yeah.
rape part out, please.
Yeah.
Men can't go. Men can't
Stop
go
bringing it
to pure romance.
You can't have men or children there.
Can you
'cause
have
it's
a
like
man's
solicitation or
per-
something.
Okay,
So
so
can I? So what you're saying is the men's pure romance market is open.
No, men
And-
can buy things. I could sell things to a man. I could not present the product to a man and say, "Here," like if it was going to be like a co-gender party or whatever, it would be like just the lubes and stuff.
Oh no, fuck that! Like I'm just gonna have a men's only pure romance party now, and hey, shove this up your ass if you want
Yeah.
to. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
here's the thing. I that's all bogus bullshit. That's
It might
stuff
be.
the
That was
company.
just kinda- that's what
the
they
company.
told
That's
us.
stuff the company tells you because that what they don't want and is what they have to protect themselves from civil like the liability of is people doing a sex party with men and women. Somebody does get and then now they're liable. Well, it was your sex party, like that, or your party. It was your pro romance, or your name was on it.
You use the product, bitch.
Yeah.
Like once it's soiled, like like you did with Misty, whatever.
Misty Meaner.
Misty
Meaner.
That's a bad name.
Heavy broad.
We have to call it that.
That's what she wants. I mean,
Well, I hope she.
I told her I'd do it for 2024 at least.
Not that I want to lose a follower.
I mean, high end. So what we're talking, let me get into that. What we're talking about is, well, hold on. Let's start up. Welcome to the Kokomo Press Podcast. I'm Jordan Grainger. This week, joining me, I'm not even going to go to you guys. You guys know who these people are. This is the Kokomo Press. Yeah. Brian Allen West, Hypocrisy Jones, Cortni Richardson, and myself, Jordan Grainger. We're hanging out. We're goofing off. We're going to talk about some shit.
Okay.
It's been a really interesting year for the Kokomo Press, and I figured if we're going to finish this season off, it makes more sense to have us sit down and talk about kind of, go back on the year that we've had, because it's been the busiest year we've ever had.
Very busy.
Year in
really
review
has.
show.
This is a year in a review.
Yes.
This is a year in a review.
Wow.
We're gonna.
You left me here for one. Tell you, I know that. Yes. Yeah.
That's what I call reparations.
Yeah. She's white too. Yeah, you guys got to remember she's white. White women are words.
It doesn't count. It doesn't count.
Emmett. What 2 words? Emmett Till. 2 fucking words. Emmett Till.
Okay.
It always counts. White women are worse.
Well, it doesn't count until she is. What's that bitch's name? Like Sandra. Or
What's her
something?
name? Yeah, something crazy. I never remember
Fuck
her name.
She's dead. Thank
Yeah,
God.
I don't care about her at all.
Oh, the lady that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did she do?
Well, she said
got
he like
Emmett Till killed.
whistled at her or something weird.
Oh, fuck that bitch. Yeah, I don't know her name.
Yeah.
Sometimes people just get.
Courtney Richardson was her name.
Yeah.
I am the reincarnation of her.
How dare you?
I've got people mixed up before. I never got them killed. But
Yeah.
Hey, not yet.
That's horrible. Later on, you're like, actually, it was a different guy.
If I got every guy killed that whistled at me,
he was a
swear to
Mexican
God.
guy.
Yeah.
This is why I'm so happy that I apparently have so many doppelgangers now. Because I'd be like, no, that's the other nigga that looks like me.
Yeah,
Brett.
poor Brent. Yeah.
Well, or Caleb now.
Yeah,
He's been
Caleb as well,
added
yeah.
into the mix. So
Yeah, man.
Seth.
Seth who?
Sorrel.
The mountain.
The mountain.
The mountain.
The mountain.
You guys do look like.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. No, it's funny because I get it too. Apparently, there's somebody who walks by Cooper's Pub that looks like me walks by.
Is it you?
Oh shit.
It's not me. Apparently, they said it's not me. They said they
It's a
checked.
different boy.
It's another guy. I'm like,
You
yeah.
look like every normal guy with a beard.
That's what I'm saying. We all look alike. All
You're just a white guy
bearded
with a
white
beard.
guys.
I would
It's
love to see
probably
who this
Matt.
guy is now.
Some guy named Lou Darrison.
Lou Garrison. Lou Garrison.
Gears.
Oh, there's Lou walking by again. I don't know who Lou Garrison is. Is that a wrestling thing?
No.
No. he's-
It's very awfully close to say Lou Garrison. And it's
Darrison. Lou Darrison.
Lou Darrison.
I don't know who you're talking about.
It's okay.
Shut the hell up. You son of a bitch.
It's okay.
You guys
caught
have
in
fun
a
at the
bit.
post party, the post Christmas party?
It was a good time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Bree did Ozempic shots.
She said it was Narcan, but you know it's Ozempic.
I signed an NDA. I stole a bunch of shit from Vision Studios. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. They have. I mean, there's so much going on downtown right now with the parade happening yesterday or the other day, I guess I should say, because this goes out on a Monday, and then obviously everything going on with We Care this weekend, and then I mean, the fact that there was a fight at the parade is crazy. The couple.
Oh, God.
Was the
Yeah,
fight
fight?
real? The fight? Oh, okay. Like, I assume not, but then, like, sometimes I gotta ask.
I didn't read the post.
Of course not.
I was really busy.
It's really
Don't
good.
read
Yeah,
the
it was
post.
funny.
I was
Don't read
busy.
the
You were
flyers.
busy. Did you go through you went to the Indiana State Fair thing?
Yeah, we went to the lights at the state fair. And
Were they
then
cool?
we do it every year. Like
that
the
last
2
year.
years in a row, it was like kind of the same, but they changed it up this year. It was a little bit different. It's fun. They do the lights to the radio station, and it's fun.
It is
Yeah.
pretty neat.
Have you been?
No, I've just seen
It's
live
cool.
videos of people.
Yeah.
I went
This
last
was
year.
our
went last
first year
year?
with with the sunroof, so the kids were really excited.
Ooh.
Oh.
Last year we took our fucking dog, and like I love my dog, but this is the worst experience fucking ever because it was bumper to bumper fucking
Oh, yeah.
traffic, and like I couldn't get out. Yeah, like I mean, obviously
Yeah.
it's just single line, like I hate my life sort of thing, because he's just because he sees other dogs and shit, or sees other people, and he's not used to the lights. And then Kim is like, This is yeah, I don't want to kill myself. But
Let's not take your dogs.
I love the holidays. All the stress.
Fun stuff.
Well, I mean, it's weird to like pay money to go see lights in traffic.
Yeah.
Okay, can I be in traffic for an hour and a half?
It was. If you go earlier in the year, it's not as bad.
Yeah, we went at a bad time because I think we went later in the year.
Last year we went and we stayed in line for like 45 minutes. It was horrible.
Yeah.
That would be terrible.
I love Christmas. Like, it's like my favorite holiday. I love the music. I love lights. I love all that shit. But it's like most of the things that exist now, I'm just like, I don't care about We Care. I hate parades. I have no interest in like standing, like being in bumper to bumper traffic to do lights. Like the stuff I want to do is like that's why the fucking We Care lights not existing anymore pisses me off. Cause you could get out of the car. You can walk through with your kids, you take photos, go get some cocoa. I'm like, the fact that it doesn't exist anymore makes me like dislike We Care. It makes me not like them.
You need a visit from the Ghost of Christmas Past.
I do.
Yeah, you really
My cousin has most of those lights now, and he sets them up at his house.
Yeah. Cool. The big guy, hey, come through my method lab and fucking check it out.
Essentially, it's not
They're wrapped
their
around the
fucking
dryer.
fault, though. Like, essentially, it's not their fucking fault.
I know,
That shit
I know.
gets expensive. Like, and
I
people
get it.
don't really like. I mean, we talk about We Care because it's this weekend, and like, I mean, some people like put up good money, spend good money at We Care and shit like that, but they're not banking on that shit.
They made last night at because I woke up and it was like 3 a.m. At 3 a.m, they were at $190,000.
Yeah.
From just the thing. So I mean, that's not terrible.
No, that's not terrible, but like we're all like homeowners and shit like that.
Yeah.
So like the light bill like is like fucking outrageous. I don't know about y'all's, but like
I'm not really too sure what We Care. I mean, they do like some stuff, but like they bank a lot of money. I don't really know too much
where it goes.
Where it goes. I know that like they came out and said like they had like $5 million at one point in their bank account recently. So
oh shit.
Let's keep it real though too. Let's keep it real though a little bit. They also decided to buy property, like the old Aldi's building, right?
Yeah.
That's probably more expensive than operating those lights for 3 months than like a yearly building. Now, I'm not saying they don't need somewhere to house stuff.
They grew out a cat. You know, they shoot. It's all in production there now. They shoot the We Care marathon. They shoot everything out of the Aldi's building now.
Yeah.
So I think WBKI was just getting a little too small for the production of We Care and all the stuff.
But that's what I mean by growth. I mean, like, I get where you're coming from because you're right. It is a lot to operate lights for. I mean, it's not even 3 months. I mean, you would start it like.
Well, I mean,
What do they
if
do
you
the
do it,
rest of
think
the
he started on
to New Year's,
the lights
right?
there.
The We Care one.
Mike Wyant's my uncle.
Yeah.
He's like my second great uncle. I don't know how the fuck it is, but he was the one that ran there, and they were getting old. It wasn't more of them. It was more of he was getting in the 70s. His wife was getting sick.
Yeah, I know they were getting up there, and like
Kids didn't
have the
kids
help
couldn't
and stuff
handle
like
it.
that.
Yeah, the kids were kind of doing their own thing. But
fucking generation.
From November to January, the first week of January, so like Thanksgiving night to January 1st is what they ran.
So that's. I mean, I would say that's like a month and a half.
Yeah.
I don't think that light bill would be that crazy.
And Duke came out and like they had a working relationship. They helped them out tremendously with the bill.
Yeah, see, I think more of it had to do with upkeep,
Just age,
and the fact that nobody was willing to take it over and deal with the cost of it. Which is why I feel like it's weird that like why not like fucking fold that into the We Care, because it does more good as far as like it's something that the community can go see. It doesn't matter if you're rich, poor.
It draws money.
It's a land.
Yeah,
it's a landmark, in my opinion. Literally,
Yeah.
like everybody. I mean, it had media coverage from out of state.
Oh yeah, people would come from all over. It was the best part of the holidays, in my opinion, and it pisses me off.
That was my favorite thing. That's why we go to Indy now, is because one of my favorite things is driving around and looking at Christmas lights, because that's something we did when we were little. We always did We Care. We went to Highland Park, and then we drive around neighborhoods where they had a bunch of lights, and then that was just one of the things we did.
What were you saying?
I was going to say, well, essentially, like we're going to have to just take up that mantle.
Yeah. It's just like we should have all bought houses in the same like row, and then that's what we. That's what we
I mean,
could have bought a cul-de-sac.
I live in a cul-de-sac already. I'm pretty sure I can bully all my neighbors
I
out.
don't like your end of town.
I don't blame you, honestly.
Northwest.
But if we owned the entire cul-de-sac, I feel like
That's a little bit different, or targeted, more targeted.
Well, it's just one of us needs to get like extremely famous and rich and something, and it doesn't matter what it is.
I'm begging on you.
It's not gonna be me, dude.
It's not going to be
What's that sex doll?
It's got to be you. You got to pull that penis out.
It's
about time you pull it out and put it on the internet the proper way.
Y'all got to like collectively have this talk with Kim with me.
Me and Annie are going to start streaming our video games.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sure there's not a trillion people doing that right now. No, I'm just kidding.
We're trying. I'm trying to be rich for you.
I like it. I mean, whatever we can do to get it to the point where we can just buy. We just need to buy like a small. Like, do you guys ever see like those stories where they're like, oh, there's a small town for sale for $150,000 in Odessa, Texas, or some shit like that. Like a tiny little town.
Let's do
Too
it.
bad we're not gonna get laid off again, like anytime soon. Because then we could just do our own mafia.
Do you guys have streaming names yet? What about Ratchet and Stank?
It was
Like us.
what was it? The Cleveland Streamers or something?
That's pretty good.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's actually a decent. I'll take that one. The Cleveland Streamers. No, I mean, so we all work at a local area. Well, there's another thing that happened recently that people have been talking about.
Yeah.
The CEO of another factory that we don't work at in town recently resigned, and a lot of people are freaking out. And they had a huge town hall meeting the other day. People don't know what's going on.
He didn't want that red dot on his head.
You know, the timing of that shit was like wild because he stepped down and then he got capped like the next day. So like maybe he knew something. Like
he heard something was coming. Yeah, I mean that's been a big fucking story this last week. I mean, I don't know if I'm really giving too much. Let me see. I know I have it on here somewhere. There it is. This guy, the CEO of United Health Group, was assassinated in cold blood with a shitty .22 in the middle of New York City, right outside. And
it wasn't that shitty.
Huh?
It wasn't that shitty.
What wasn't shitty?
The shitty .22.
No, did you not see it jam?
Oh, I mean, I saw him fix it quick.
Well, I mean, but that's
Jason Bourne over there.
He did
There's a video?
Yeah. They got the surveillance. Yeah, they did. Did you see the picture? I mean, obviously the picture's everything.
Oh man, he came up and he was just behind them boy. Like,
oh shit, that's the wrong button. There it is. Boom.
That's the guy.
That's the guy.
And he's on the run still.
It's Steve from Blue's Clues.
Yeah, somebody's gonna know who that guy is.
Man, that dude's from like.
They're not gonna give it away, even if people know who it is. It's not gonna be out there. But yeah, this shit was legitimately happened. They had a manhunt, and of course the internet took away with it, and they did a shooter lookalike contest in Central Park. Did you see that?
No.
They had a bunch of people dress up like him and go to the Central Park. It's all just to like throw them off the scent.
Yeah. That's fucked up.
I know they don't. They're like, don't catch him. That's the problem. That's the problem. I mean, I get why people don't like the guy, but I mean, murdering.
Fuck. I don't.
I know.
I mean,
he did deny a lot. He killed in a way.
Yeah. Well, the problem is like, there's always going to be a head of any snake that like. That's the thing. Like how many people are involved in this? He's one guy on a board. There's a whole nother board of people that make these decisions. He's just the figurehead, and it's like at the end of the day, is it necessarily on him? No, but did it get their attention? Probably. Because I mean, then this shit came out. I don't know if you guys saw this. Blue Cross Blue Shield Association, KMACAC, Blue Cross Blue Shield will no longer cover anesthesia for the full length of certain surgeries in Connecticut, New York, and Missouri. If a surgery exceeds a specific duration and anesthetic, costs for the additional time will not be covered. So they're saying, if you go over your allotted time, even if you're under the knife, and it has to do with the doctors like finding more complications or something, that they're like, if you go past the 6 hour threshold at 7 hours, you're paying for that 1 hour or whatever.
As someone that delves into nitrous, it's expensive. The upkeep's expensive, so I can see maybe charging a little.
Well, they already backtracked on that, so it happened. That came out, and then the CEO got murdered. Then all of a sudden, she backtracked.
We're good.
We're good. I think we can afford it.
I know you guys have seen the meme about how it's like the McDonald's guy was like, "Not me. Let's bring back the snack wrap."
Yeah. That is
there you go.
The McDonald's snack wrapper was returning in 2025.
oh word.
He's like, "I ain't getting hit."
The snack wrap coming back is such a big deal.
You can catch me Thursday doing that bit. That's my bit.
You're doing it now.
The CEO of McDonald's said, "Nope."
No?
He said, "I ain't getting capped. I want that snack wrap back."
I swear, man. Once someone of those jokes comes out, it's like forever. It's like every post, dude. I swear.
I have to go to the bathroom.
Do you really? Oh yeah, sure you do. If you come back with a drink, we're gonna know what's going on.
You better boof that fucking drink.
I'm not moving.
She's boofing it.
Boof it.
Okay, we've all decided, right? We are going to replace Cortni with that doll, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, she's never gonna hear this part anyways. So
Yeah, she don't listen to the show.
no, she didn't even read
God
the
damn
flyers.
When was the last time she fucking listened to the show?
Yeah.
I do want to. I mean, this is kind of beside the point. Oh, she's back. What do you got?
Hey.
Oh, that's so weird.
I had to poop.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you pooped out Starbucks?
Hey, you guys want to see what $20 worth of Starbucks looks like?
That's wild.
It's 2 items.
Who gets DoorDash of Starbucks? Like, legitimately, this woman.
We
What?
talked her into doing this. I talked her into this.
Matt
Just
didn't.
for-
Matt wouldn't
just
bring
for
it
her
to
to
me.
get
It's his
believed.
fault.
Matt Dash doesn't exist anymore. He closed it down. This is your drink. What if you opened it up and it's the wrong thing?
Oh, man.
I'm
What?
so mad.
You'd be mad if it was different than what you're supposed to get. Did you get new plugs for your ears?
Yeah.
Are they wooden?
No, they're like rocks.
Oh, that's
Oh. No. Like
They were-
crack?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
what'd you
It
knock
was-
down?
Oh,
Let me see that.
no.
What is it? Oh, okay. I'm like, what
It's
are you
a
dropping?
asthma
Inhaler. It's an
device.
inhaler
or something.
device.
Yeah, my asthma's weird.
Oh, there you go. Dan, you should have got me one.
You didn't even offer, Courtney.
I did. You guys are all liars.
I had a bit come in my head for the page, so I had to write it down.
Okay, cool. Oh yeah, she
I
got.
love that. Those are spontaneous little
Spontaneous
pops.
bits.
Yeah. Could be nothing, could be something.
That's why, like last night when I came up with that the bit about the two people fighting in line, I was like, I want to make it into like a thing, and I'm like, is this too close to something that Brian would write? Probably, but I'm just gonna do it.
I enjoy it. No, it wasn't. I'm happy you did that because I was having a hard time coming with the idea. I was like, I was gonna make a post and be like, basically, when nothing's better when you hear your name being called on We Care, and then it's like, well, maybe alcohol's better, like something like
Yeah,
dumb like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But then I couldn't come up with anything. So when I saw that, I was like, well, at least something's being.
Yeah, I was
produced
like,
now.
I needed to post something about either We Care. She's just making noises. This is not.
The-
Like
the-
a,
the
did you
page
get a
was-
keg pop. Oh my god.
The
How
page has
old
been
are
running
you?
hot the few last days, so for us to keep putting coal on the fire,
Yeah.
on the fire.
Killing.
I think that's the point. I we have to like we go through like spells where like we won't post anything for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and then like boom, 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 which is good. I think it's good. I try to keep up with like tiny little posts here and there, but it sometimes you just don't think of shit. Oh, this is the other half of that. I forgot to post this up there, but yeah, they dropped the controversial new plan to cap anesthesia coverage after backlash.
After backlash,
Why?
I mean murder.
After
someone was murdered.
WWE's backlash.
After backlash.
After backlash.
Yeah.
Did you guys? Okay, so there's a whole bunch of weird WNBA news. You guys know how much I love. I'm a huge WNBA fan. WNBA fan.
Yeah.
I'm a huge. And so this was a crazy report that came out that Caitlin Clark drove 25% of all WNBA ticket sales, merch, and TV by herself. That's an insane thing, which we all know kind of. But then some horrible news came out. Did you guys hear they're actually coming up with a new WNBA team? They expanded into a whole new team. When they do an expanding, they have to do an expansion draft, which means every team can only save 5 players from their team, and then they pick from players that are already on teams. It fucking sucks. Well, we lost my favorite, the best name in the business, Timmy Fagbinley, has been selected by the Golden State Valkyries in the 2025 WNBA expansion draft. Thank you, Timmy. So, Timmy. It's probably Team.
Is she
Timu.
tough?
No, I mean she's great. It's really just I just love her name. I love to be able to be like Fag Bentley.
Yeah.
Like I just love being like, man, that's my girl.
Well, I mean, I don't really pay attention to WNBA very much because I don't know.
Not your thing.
No, if I just want to see titties bouncing, I just look at Kim.
Yeah.
which is you generally.
Hey, we
what
get something up
happens.
at the top there, and she's like, yeah, I can't fucking reach it. And you're like, yeah, just keep trying. Keep trying.
Yeah. Now move your ass. Yeah.
Actually, it's lower. I think it's underneath.
But did you hear the news about Noah?
Yes.
Yeah, Noah.
Not saying it.
Noah nigga, right? So like Noah nigga, he signed to was it Northern Michigan?
Yeah. I'm excited about that as well. I mean, there's another.
You're the only
guy.
one that was allowed to bring that up.
I know. That's why. I
Good job. Thank you.
Yeah, he hit that. He hit that hard. But I saw that and I was very hard.
Hit that
But
hard,
I saw that and was like, man, I can't believe they're getting rid of my girl. She was always like she's like a big body in the post that would knock people around, Fag Bentley. And I'm just gonna miss being able to say, I wanted to get that jersey. That's really like my main thing.
Well, why don't you get it now? It's probably like discount.
Valkyries? Yeah, if they put it on discount,
on the FIFA,
yeah, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it, and then I'm gonna some of those letters. I'm gonna actually just mark out and just have.
Well, I mean, just play with it on, and if you back up in the post enough, it'll do it naturally.
Yeah. It's Fag Bentley.
I'd like the Noah and the Bentley.
Oh, but he take her name. Wait, no.
No, they both have the last name.
Oh yeah. Or they switch, so it's no effect Bentley.
Throw the F in first. Yeah.
Noah.
Yeah, you could be like, quit being
Bagnley.
yeah.
Noah.
Quit
Bagnley.
being a.
Yeah.
All right, a Timmy Kavik. A Timmy.
What if they got married
being
and
a
did like
fag.
they'll get married and get like hyphenate?
This is our last episode for multiple reasons. It's been a good run.
Let's do a little recap of the year, though. I do want to talk about a little bit. Okay, so last year, obviously, we finished off 2023 with the holiday special, and then we finished the year, and then we started up in January. And at that time, we were searching for a venue. That was like our thing. Like, we wanted to look for a place to do showcases. Well, then we ended up finding a couple different places. One of the places kind of did us dirty, and then we ended up talking to Cooper's, and we started doing the mic in February, the middle of February. So the mic has been
15th?
Yeah, February 15th. So the mic is something we've been doing for, I mean, at this point, 10 months. 10 months of the mic.
10 months.
Fucking
Yep.
10 months. Pretty much every Thursday. Like we're there like either like the only we've missed we missed July 4th, we missed Halloween, and we missed obviously fucking Thanksgiving. We just did the day before.
Well, and well, we're gonna not do one day after Christmas.
Right? So, which sucks a little bit because I have a show the next day. It'd been nice to like get a little bit.
Yeah, you
want to
talk about that a little bit?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna be doing. This is pretty crazy. I'm gonna be doing my first ever Indianapolis show ever. Yeah. I'm excited about it.
Love you, baby. You came a long way.
It's funny because you tagged me on that, but I'm already in it.
Oh, I didn't know.
That's why I was like, when you tagged me, I'm like, oh shit, that was the one I was talking about.
It was just everything that he named. I was like, that's Jordan.
Jordan.
Well, I was like, that's weird because I was like, I could be doing. I mean, I didn't want to do the running, the $50. And he's like, you can make some money to run and maybe sing. And I'm like, now I'm gonna be doing it. But I'm supposed to be doing comedy, I guess, and I'm gonna be paired with a singer.
Okay.
And then apparently the way it goes is I'll do 5 minutes, and like every comic does 5 minutes, and then the singer sings, and then they group you, and then whoever. If you lose, there's like 3. If you lose, you end up the comic has to sing. So
hopefully you lose.
To me, I'll end up fucking.
Yeah.
It won't bother me. It's a win-win for
Yeah.
me. And then, well, the good news is if you do win, though, you do a duet with them at the end, like to do with your other person. So that would work too. Winning or losing, I'm gonna win. The way I look at it. So that's why I was talking to Brian this last week about trying to get like a nice. Like I think I only need like 5 minutes. I think that's all I'm doing. I don't think they like break it down to another round or nothing. So I'm gonna try to figure out the 5 minutes I'm gonna do. But this will be my first time doing indie. This year for me, if I talk about just myself for a minute. This year for me, first time I've ever done comedy outside of Kokomo Press stuff.
Yes.
Like first time I've ever done comedy stuff outside of Kokomo Press and outside of Kokomo, which is crazy because like we've done Miami every year because of the Harvest Fest for the last 3 years, but I've Dunkirk, Windfall, Muncie, Gas City. We do somewhere else, right? Logansport. There you go. Yeah. So we've really kind of broadened. This will be the first time though that I do anything in Indy. So, and that'll kind of cap off the end of my year. It'll be the 27th.
Good way to end it.
In Indy at Monsters. I think that's what's called, Monsters. I'm horrible with the names of these fucking things, but I figured it'll be fun. So what other things do you guys like in your head, like positive things? I mean, obviously with the festival, first time we've ever done a festival, like we sponsored it this year rather than
that was wild.
It's pretty crazy. So any other things you guys can think of year in review?
We made money for fucking charity, bro. Like
that was sick.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Money for charity.
Like good money. Which reminds me of my fucking chest.
Yeah.
Right now, dude.
We netted. Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Get that tattoo numbing cream stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We
got tattoos. Some of us.
Yeah, we got tattoos.
We're ending the year.
Fuck yeah, we did.
We're ending the year with over $1,000 on the bank, and I don't know if that's too much insider baseball, but that's a lot. That's big for me.
Yeah.
Big for us.
That really is big for us. I mean, we put a lot of time, energy, effort, and money into this, and like it's gaining positive returns, whether it's us doing a year almost straight of open mics consistently at Cooper's and helping them drive business and drive revenue and keep people in there and things like that. We've been doing some amazing things, and look, not gonna lie, a little bit tired. And I think we all deserve to be a little bit tired because like we've been putting in work, but it definitely is paying off.
It's a lot, man. It's a lot. So that's one of the things that I think people don't think about when you do the amount of stuff that we do.
Yeah.
And the not just the amount of stuff we do, but like the difference. Like we're eclectic as fuck. Like this group isn't one thing. Like it'd be easy to be like, hey, we do, open mic every week, and that's it.
No.
If that was it, that's fine. That'd be fine. But if you do posts, videos, skits, open mics, podcasts, live shows, showcases, charity events. We help sponsor other random things from here and there when people need stuff. And then on top of that, the fact that we're also, at the end of the day, the whole point of this is to be funny. Like that's hard in and of itself. So, I mean, we did our first roast this year. That's a pretty big deal. Like we've never done like a specialized show like that before.
I can't wait to do that again.
That was a highlight. That was a highlight for me. The St. Patty's Day show was a really big highlight for me. It was like one show I can go back and sit on and be like, I love the reaction. I love everything about that show. I love that. I got to have somebody I look up to, and I think is a great comedian, Stuart Huff.
Yeah.
I got to have him we got to have him in our venue.
Yeah.
Say but we got to have him in our venue and got to watch him perform and do stuff. And it's like, this shit's wild. It's like, I mean, it's crazy to me that we've been able to do.
Opened up our first ever merch shop, which people can go to and fuck around with.
We got shirts now.
Yeah, we've got shirts, hats, and a hoodie. One hoodie.
Yeah. It's just wild when I think about the things that like we've done and the things that this could lead to as well. Because like I mean, whether people look at us like weird or like whatever our reputation is around, we really have built something that could even potentially be something more if we keep driving at it.
Yeah.
And keep going at it.
I feel like we get underestimated a lot. People
think
are
so
like,
too.
oh, you just do a Facebook page and a podcast. That's dumb.
You're those factory dorks.
Yeah.
Tell jokes or whatever.
Well, on top of that, and then the fact that like, I think a lot of people don't really know what all we do. Right. I don't think they realize the extent of what we've done and what we do, because it's one thing to like say, oh, you guys do that open mic and you guys do comedy. And it's like, yeah, but like that's such a small, that's become something we've done this year. Like we've done.
Yeah, this is new.
We've done a little bit. Like we dabbled in some showcases at, like we've done obviously Hi-Fi, and then we at the record store, and then we did stuff with the stuff at Harvest Fest every year for the last 2 years. But that's been the most we've done. This is the first time we've ever had something we have to do every single week, a day. This is the one day we have to do it.
Yeah.
And one of the things that maybe people don't get when they look at us is Brian saying we have $1,000 in the bank, but what you guys understand that's like a joint account for all of us to use for the Kokomo Press.
Yeah,
that's not including the amount of money we put in individually into things, the amount of money that we put in, the amount of time we put into things, and the fact that most of what we do at the end of the day, we walk away with an experience and no money in our pocket. Honestly, we probably lost money.
Yeah.
And it's a lot.
Money to do it for us.
Yeah, and it's a lot, and we pay comics, and that's one of the things that I think we have a great reputation of paying comics, taking care of people, making sure people have a good experience with what we do. And I mean, there's only so much of that we can like control. Some of it we can control. Like we can control ourselves. Let's do the elephant in the room. This is like, we'll air some grievances. Let's do it. I mean, at this point, I think it's important. No, I think it's important.
Well,
no, it's going. I think it's good. People, if you stayed in, you get to listen to some insider baseball a little bit.
Hey, what's up, Judas?
What up, Judas?
Oh God! I
gotta make sure I fix it.
It's all good.
No, I mean honestly,
we've talked. It's fine.
Well, let's recap it. So we've spent the last year doing a free open mic that we don't get paid to do in a basement or in the back of it, and part of the reason why we don't get paid to do it was because we had to prove to me. I wanted to prove that we could do it.
Yeah,
we've never done it before. It's like, hey, will you give us money to do something? A lot of these places will pay for these experiences. So as far as I was concerned with it, like, let's not worry about money. Let's worry about creating something, because we do, like, part of the reason why I think we do the free show every week on Thursday, free open mic, is obviously it benefits us a lot. It gives us a place. People can come see the Kokomo Press every week. They can come see us. They can come hang out with us. Part of it is to have a home base of operations every week where we all get together and we break bread and kind of drinks. And part of it is because, hey, when we do the showcases, this might be a little bit too inside, the money is ours.
Yeah.
We get paid for the showcases 100%. We don't. Most places are going to ask you to share a percentage of the profits. Luckily with Cooper's, because we do this, weekly open mic with them, when we do the showcases, we take all ticket sales. So that's and it's up to our discretion. The price of the tickets, everything. Like she lets us control all that.
The room's free. It's ours.
Yeah. It's our room to use because we basically give them free revenue 4 days of the month. Every month. And that's part of the reason why when we cut back on the showcases, we actually lose a little bit more. Yeah,
we also sell out, and they sell a significant amount of drinks and food, and we do make it so it's a minimum. You have to buy something from. You have to patronize the bar.
Which is part of it.
I think our business relationship with, as far as like this test period, that we've done, I think we've done exceptionally well. Exceptionally well. Just that aspect alone, we have kept up our end of the bargain,
and we've rolled with the punches,
and we absolutely have. And sometimes we've dealt with shit that we really shouldn't have had to deal with in the first place.
No, like some of it, like okay, so one of the big things that happened this last year was when we were looking for a venue. Brian and I went to a particular venue. There was some weird shit that happened with that venue. The venue kind of did us weird. Then we ended up finding a different place, and then it felt like, and based off of some information we got, that venue was negatively impacting what we were doing, where we were at, like doing things to actively sabotage our thing, which is weird because we initially wanted to work with them in some way, in some capacity, and then they ended up. So if that would have been the case, let's go back a little bit. If we would have got the venue that we originally talked about doing, and then we did an open mic, we would have asked for money from the open mic, because the whole point to me was like, if we do the open mic every week, for a place, we're not going to do that for free. We're just not. And the only reason why I even looked at it as doing it, like, hey, we're kind of volunteering our time. We're taking a room, because initially it was, we're taking a space that's not being utilized on Thursdays, and we're going to utilize it. We're going to bring people down to the bar. People are going to spend money that they wouldn't have spent down there. I don't want to get paid for that, because we're going to get paid through the showcases.
We're also, I think, self-aware of our own reputation. I think whether you think negatively or positively about us, or both. Yeah. I think there's we had to step into anything that we're doing with a little bit of grace, knowing that we do cause issues. Or what we have, and it happened immediately.
As soon as we got there, she had to deal with somebody coming in pissed off about us.
But that's kind of the beauty in being polarizing, I guess. As an entity,
I think it's the yin and yang for sure. Yeah, I hate the word beauty in there, because it's not beautiful having to deal with the bullshit. Because people that don't understand what we do have people that either don't understand what we do or do understand but don't like it because they don't like what we do. Have kind of painted us in a corner that's not true, because they don't really know the full scope. Like when we talk about
the jokes, Facebook stuff,
they see what we do on Facebook, which is a satire, jokes, making fun of the community in weird ways. We've actually pulled back a lot on being crude.
Absolutely.
Like we have.
Absolutely.
We still make jokes. I mean, sometimes there's a gay day at Kokomo Beach. It just happens. Like sometimes you have to, fingers go in places. It happens.
I mean, fair warning, that shit, the switch can change at any moment. So don't ever think that we're just, don't let a sleeping giant lay.
Let a sleeping giant okay, Lil Wayne.
Exactly. Okay, Lil Wayne. I've been heavy on some Wayne. So I've been doing a lot of Wayne comedy.
Yeah. You are. You've got somebody threw it out one time in the middle of your set, and it became like a mainstay, which I love.
I just to give you, for instance, we got backlash back when I was trying to do that wrestling thing here in town. Yeah. Like the stadium itself didn't want to fuck with us. Generally, they just legitimately did not want to fuck with us because of our reputation,
which is weird.
There have been multiple organizations throughout town that have been like, no, we don't want anything to do with you guys.
But Rum Academy.
Yeah.
Let's throw some names out. I'll throw some names out right now. Ryan Hall is somebody who initially acted like they wanted to fuck with us, kind of did us dirty, and then we heard some shit that they had done behind the scenes. Now, none of it's all alleged because I can't prove any of it. But when the fire marshal names the guy, it gets a little weird. That's the first thing. The second thing is obviously Rum Academy. We were supposed to be a part of the Rum Fest. We were supposed to have a booth. We were going to live stream. We were going to have fun. We got contacted basically saying, we're afraid you guys are going to make fun of kids.
Yeah, like
when have we ever just picked on people?
Kids, like
not only that, we're all artists. I'm a musician. I'm in a band. Like I've done shows. You have kids. You have kids. You have kids. You have kids. Like none of us are going to pick on a kid for no reason.
No.
So it felt like, okay, do you guys even know who the fuck we are or what we do? Like we uplift, and then like I said, it comes with the fact that people have blinders on what we do. They see what we do on social media. That's all they care about. They have no idea that if they remove that shit, they're going to see us bringing people that wrote books on poetry, people that wrote books about, overcoming obstacles, people that are putting on movies, people that are creating their own TV shows and skits, people that are actors, people that are musicians writing their own music in the community. We had a recovery group in here. We've had a guy who does personal fitness training in here. We've had people that do OnlyFans. Like we have an eclectic group of people that we bring on to talk about their life. What?
Whores.
We also have whores.
No, that's the OnlyFans.
Yeah. I was going to say we also have whores because Brian sometimes is on the show. But we bring comedians from outside the community. Like to be honest, like if they saw what we did, if they saw everything we did, the full tapestry.
Accepting of it, if they were accepting of it.
And then, of course, we also had issues, not just Rum Academy, not just Ryan Hall, but we also had issues with what we were just talking about. We were talking about somebody.
Jackrabbits.
The Jackrabbits.
Yeah.
Specifically saying they don't want to fuck with us because of material. Meanwhile, and I don't know, I'm trying to get anybody in trouble, but I've had people that work in pretty prominent roles at the Jackrabbit Stadium message me after jokes and be like, that was so funny. Yeah. So like it's like a two-faced thing a little bit.
It is. Well, we're a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you like us, but you don't want people to know that you like us.
Yeah.
We're X and XX.
Right? Yeah.
You like jacking off to us.
It's like every relationship I've ever had with a man.
But you don't want anybody to see your browser history.
I want to do a positive spin on that though and be like, then you got people like Matt Barlow that fucking goes out of his way that gives us, donates money to the food bank, has been sponsored, which he's still a sponsor to the show. There was like a time, like I have a hard time with like, sometimes I feel like I'm bothering people too much. Yeah. So if I hit him up for one show, I hate going in 2 months, be like, hey man, that's me. That's something personal that I have to get over. But it's like
Barlow, Coopers, Jackie from Coopers, everybody from Coopers. Let's talk a little bit about Beatnik, always throwing, helping us out over there.
Matt Adams,
homie, Seth Gerbs from,
I'm sure we're missing people too.
Obviously, I mean, I got to throw out.
Just donated
Marissa donated Brian's new girlfriend.
I just met Jaslyn at the open mic. She's
Jaslyn. We've got
who else?
Well, I was gonna say specifically business. We obviously Outhouse Records. We've been partnered with them for so many different things. The Harvest Fest. So it's not like that people don't fuck with us. It's not that. So don't think that they don't. But there are certain institutions in this town, and let's like sink into the Jackrabbits thing. We see what's happening right now with the Jackrabbit Stadium. They're in an absolute all out assault by the city on them, and it was kind of fucked up. So what I've heard, and I'm going to talk about insider baseball stuff for this, literally insider baseball, get it? Not to be insider baseball,
but
my
god, you're so funny.
But I've talked to people higher up into Jackrabbits. Don't want to really leave any names. I want to give up my sources, but I've talked to them, and basically what came out of it, and I think some of this is out. This isn't like secret shit. I'm not like special, but like some of it that came out was there was a conversation this last summer about what do you guys want to do. Jackrabbit Stadium said, well, we want to continue doing what we're doing. And the city was like, okay, that sounds good. And then they kept moving on. And then the city hit him with this injunction, hit him with basically a lawsuit saying you need to vacate because you didn't sign this thing. And apparently they thought they verbally agreed to continue the lease. They didn't think about the fact they needed to sign it because they didn't imagine that. They didn't have any in their heads imagine that the city of Kokomo would come after them. You know what I mean? Would do something like this. And it really comes down to that's what makes me annoyed is we are the type of organization that we will stand up for our people. We'll stand up for people that go through shit, and we'll be there for them. But the people that want to be buddies with the higher ups going on at different organizations in town, want to rub elbows and shoulders with them. They want to appease them, and in order to appease them, they have to shit on us. And then at the end of the day, when you're sitting out there and it's cold and it's lonely and you don't have anybody on your side, you're going to look back at us and be like, damn, at least those guys would have stuck with us through this shit.
We're pretty brick by brick.
Yeah.
I think we show and prove that. Like, we talk about what's in our collective bank account, but like that's work over time, and that's not to mention the equipment that is bought into everything that we do, and all the thousands
and the money that comes out of our
already
personal
spent.
money.
So yeah,
the money that comes out of our personal accounts.
Everything that we have bought.
Like, we don't have inheritance or anything.
No, we didn't come from wealthy families. We're one of everybody.
I did use a portion of our funds on geek bars. I bought a bunch of the gas stations.
Yeah.
They got a crazy sale on them because I can't get rid of them. So I bought 3 geek bars for the price of one. That come out of our funds.
Throw me one. I need a backup.
Brian has us.
Speaking of vapes.
You fell again.
Brian convinced us to put the entire savings of the Kokomo Press into the Haktua Bitcoin version, the Haktua coin.
I was on the way. I'm telling you guys.
We all just got scammed.
I'm still mad that we didn't put money on the fucking Jake Paul Tyson fight. Like, it was a fucking lock. I told you guys.
Everybody knew he was going to win. Everybody knew.
God.
Yeah, it was
Jordan, we could have did that and then bought Doge on the low, and then we wouldn't have to do this shit.
See, the thing is nobody wanted to admit that they thought they knew he was going to win.
Yeah,
I knew.
The homie Sean D.
I wanted.
Did his thing.
All his money's gone already because he got a house and his car fixed.
Yeah.
That's all it took. That's what he says. Like, I got my house and my car fixed.
He got a medium-sized house.
I got a medium-sized house?
You know, it's not a mansion.
It's not an Airbnb.
But it's not a trailer either. I love you, Sean. We're just fucking around.
I love it. I love that I can do that.
Matt, we were laying in bed last night, and Matt goes, "I have a medium dick," and he's like, "Are you tired of me quoting Sean yet?" I'm like, a little bit.
Oh God. Well, I mean, that's the beauty of doing an open mic now, is that we've all heard each other's bits 45,000 times to the point. Well, you know, and it's important to do that. So it's been good. But I think as far as like one thing we didn't bring up that we should bring up, and I think it's very important, and I think kind of it explains like I think the corner that we could be turning soon, which is. Ooh. Brian and I this last year went on Z925, and then Brian went on Z95 by himself.
Yeah, but it was to promote. It wasn't like
but I mean, we
got asked.
That's more than one time.
That's olive branch.
That is cool.
Like we did the dress thing, the little black dress event. We did that.
That's another highlight. It was fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Highlight.
No, it is a highlight because you did something for the community that is.
It was raising money for domestic violence victims.
It
shaved my big fat ass out there for him.
Hey, whether you got donation dollars or not, you did it.
I also lost 65 pounds for the last year.
Yeah.
You did?
Yes.
Yeah.
I went on stage twice.
Yeah, you got on stage.
You hosted an event.
Yeah, you hosted. Well, you went on
a couple.
You got on stage 3 times technically. Because you did one open mic where Belle basically forced you up there, and then you did the roast.
Yeah.
You did this. Yeah. I mean, I really think you should have went up last week. Honestly.
She did.
You might have been too busy.
She did go up.
You might have been a little bit too busy to do anything else if you'd have went up.
She did time.
I think I did really well.
Yeah.
She bombed.
Well, if you missed the open mic this last week, there's a frequent girl that comes through, and she brings her dog. Okay,
Dog girl.
And legally, let me talk about the legalities really quick. You're not legally allowed to ask somebody if it's a service dog if you work at a place. Apparently, you're not allowed to ask.
Yeah, you can't.
We didn't.
You can't bother. No, I'm not saying you did. Don't take anything. Listen, I'm setting things up.
Okay, I'm listening.
Shut the fuck up, Cortni.
Hey, we talked about this earlier. We're
just let me set things up, and then you guys can give your opinions.
We're gonna hold hands first.
Can I have the thingy for this?
So there's a girl that comes through and she brings her dog. She used to date one of the comics. There was a huge blow up one time outside on the patio between them, which Michael handled himself. So I didn't really see. And there was some people that got in between the mom and things like that happened. But outside feels a little weird. And then so a couple months later, we were inside and she was feeding her dog at the table. Jackie saw it and Jackie's like, well, that's a big faux pas. You're not allowed to feed an animal inside of a building like that, especially a service dog. So she was politely told, hey, you can't bring that dog here anymore. Okay, end of discussion. So the other day on Thursday, she comes into the bar. So if you know anything about Cooper's, when you walk in the front door of Cooper's off of Sycamore Street, you have to open another door on the right to go into the main bar, and then there's a back main room even bigger. So there's like a full bar room, and then there's a back like an event room. But if you walk in that front door before you turn right in the other door, if you go downstairs to the left, that's where we do our shit. It's like a little room downstairs in the basement. It's like a little speakeasy. If you haven't been through, yeah, that's where it's at. So she comes through apparently, and I think she goes straight downstairs. I don't think she goes into the main area, at least as far as I know. She goes downstairs. She has her dog with her. She orders a drink, orders some fries, sits down quietly. I think at one point, and you can correct me on this if not, I can't remember. I think you came to me and said, hey, that girl with the dog's here. And I was like, just don't worry about it right now.
The only reason I said that was because there was a guy that had come in with his dog and you had asked him not to.
No, that's not true.
I know. And that's, I didn't know what you had said to him, but I heard you say he had to bring his dog home.
Yeah.
That was because he wanted to do time and somebody needed to watch the dog.
I would have never told that guy to take his dog out of there, and except for he walked up holding the dog with two arms like this. Mm-hmm. The dog looked like it couldn't fucking see. And he came up and goes, hey, is there any spots available to do comedy? And I was like, and I looked at him like, I didn't even tell him he couldn't have his dog. That's not even what happened. I looked at him like, yeah, how are you? And he's like, oh, if I can get a spot, I'm just going to take my dog home. And I was like, okay, cool. Cause I was going to be like, how can you do it and have the mic and do everything and be able to do comedy with a dog in your arms? Cause he came in by himself. If he came in with somebody else that could hold the dog, I wouldn't even have brought it up.
Right.
In hindsight, probably should have just let him hold the dog.
No, I'm happy.
He probably would have been more comfortable.
Well, yeah, he did. He's only done a comedy one other time,
I know.
He said, I'm gonna take my dog home, and I was like, okay, that's cool. I'll put you on. He's like, put me on late, but then he came back early enough that I put him on earlier. I didn't want him to go late because it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And it's like the crowd gets a little bit unruly as the night goes on.
From my perspective, I saw you walk up to the guy with the dog, say, and then I heard something about taking the dog home.
Yeah, he said that. Yeah.
And then he left.
Yeah.
And then I saw him come back
without the dog.
Yeah, so then I saw her come down with the dog, and I was like, oh shit, this guy's doing time. I don't want him to feel like we're just picking on him and he can't have his
for sure.
dog.
I mean, there's a lot of a lot of situations where we weren't on the same wavelength where there wasn't a conversation. When these shows are happening, I need people to understand that when these shows are happening, comics come up one after another. Yeah. There's no break. There's no like, okay, we're going to do a quick short intermission where we all have a quick chat. It's all just runs into each other. Just runs and runs and runs. Well, she comes down, she sits down, she orders a drink and some fries. Mm-hmm. She gets her drink, she waits on her fries. Eventually, the fries come down to her. I think what I was told by Sage was Sage came downstairs. She's the bartender there. I love Sage. She came downstairs and she saw her. And then she went up and messaged Jackie and said, hey, the girl with the dog's here. What do you do? Jackie gave her a strict script, which she tried to follow. The girl started freaking out. So what happened was Sage came downstairs. So here's the first mistake, in my opinion. The first mistake was she came in and was served.
Yeah.
Once you serve somebody, you cannot kick them out for something that you said last week. That's fucked up because you're literally put their money on. You can't take their money and send that. And that's one thing that when I talked to Jackie about it, because after this whole blow up ended up happening, I ended up having to reach out to Jackie and have a conversation with her to make sure she was okay. Because honestly, I'll get to that later. We'll get to that later. That's a little bit further in the conversation. But okay, so this whole situation happens with the girl. Sage comes down to let her know, hey, you got it. You can be here, but the dog can't. And has this very specific script that she said word for word because we were on the phone with Jackie and Jackie said exactly what she said. It was very like eerie, not eerie, but like word for word. So at one point, the girl starts to get loud. Now, all this is happening with a guy on stage who drove 2 hours to do 5 minutes. That was like a big deal to me.
Thank him. Thank you, Joe.
Shout out Joe and Zach.
Yes.
Zach, they came together. Zach came up before Joe. Very funny.
Very funny.
He's been doing comedy for a year and a half.
Yeah.
The other guy is brand new, and his style of comedy is very. It's supposed to, and this is something that we can get into, but like, he ends up going up there. He does his stand up in the middle. Like I say, in the middle. He's about 3.5 minutes in. Sage comes down, starts talking to the girl, or you see it happening. Yeah. I watch most people's eyes go from him to her. Everybody's just looking at what's going on over there because obviously if you guys notice, like somebody can be at the cash register on the other part of the bar over there talking and you can hear it all the way to where we're at on the other side of the room. It's a very small space. It's very insulated. It's not the type of room that you can like hide in. You can't hide a conversation. That's why we tell people, if you want to talk, go upstairs. There's so much room upstairs to talk. You don't have to be down here. And so they're going back and forth. At one point, I'm trying to figure out, I'm sitting there next to Shelby, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, is this going to resolve? Like, what are we doing? I'm over there with I'm producing that night. I'm over there and I see Brian in the corner and he's standing right next to it all. So in my head, I'm like, okay, if Brian's not moving, nothing. Obviously he thinks it's going to be okay.
And this is where I'll step in and say, I've told you all several times, this is where I come into play as some of my fault too.
Yeah.
Because he should have never grabbed the mic to say anything because I should have stopped before him. But Jordan went up. Bill went up.
I also have a mic. The only reason I didn't turn my mic on to talk was because I was trying to see if Sage could get it. To me, the way... Okay, so here's my thing. When Brian and I sat down with Jackie and told her, hey, we want to do this thing. We want to do a mic every week. One of the things that she said is she wants to have somebody she can talk to. So we said, okay, we'll be the points of contact, anything. But part of this is Jackie doesn't work Thursday nights.
Right.
She spends time with her kids Thursday night.
Yeah.
So what she says is, y'all are in charge.
Yeah.
We got permission to kick people out. We got permission to do everything. So like when in our head, we're like, okay, we're in charge of this shit now. But that also part of that being in charge is a bit of trust that we're not going to make anything too big that needs to be big. That doesn't need to be big. Like, so when she sent Sage downstairs, in my opinion, Sage was acting as Jackie.
Yes.
If Jackie was doing that, I feel like, and this is just my opinion, and maybe you could tell me I'm wrong, we all would have stepped the fuck back and let that boss bitch handle her shit. Okay? None of us would have stepped in unless there were physical. Yeah. If somebody physically put their hands on her, maybe. But even then, like, are we really going to physically put our hands on somebody to take them out? I don't know. I don't know if that's something we would do. I just don't think. I think that there's just like a level of, are we supposed to handle this or not?
Right.
And so we've had a couple of incidences in the past. They typically worked out well. Like we walked one guy back that was being disruptive, and people had a conversation. Actually, other people ended up taking it over and having a conversation. And because I walked back there with him when he interrupted me.
Right.
And then we had like Doug downstairs in that basement, that weird guy Doug. But that worked us out. Even on the Black Friday, we had a guy that was kind of wild. He ended up giving us money, so it was all. He ended up paying his penance. Jack Mack, who used to do crack.
A good guy.
Jack Mack used to do crack, smoke crack. And so like all this, we've had incidences happen because these are open mics. People get fucking crazy, but this situation happened. It had nothing to do with the mic and had everything to do with Cooper's Pub. It had nothing to do with us. Like honestly, it was Cooper's Pub's call. It wasn't like she was disrupting the mic, and that's where when I talked to Sage at the end of the night, I told her, I'm like, listen, she's like, she came up to me and she's like, I'm so sorry, that should have never fucking happened. I don't know what. She's like, I was trying, and I said, listen, I was like, I understand what you're trying to do, but in these situations, if she's not stopped when she walks in before she patronizes the bar, you let her just do her thing as long as she's not interrupting. And if you really need to kick her out, you can pull her up after the show and say, hey, we told you not to bring this dog in. If you come in here with this dog again, you will be trespassed. This is the last warning. Or you call the cops right there and trespass her then.
Yeah.
Or better yet than anything, at least say, hey, can you come upstairs with me real quick so I can have a talk? So I can talk to you. Because that's the problem. And it shouldn't have been Sage. Her and Sage have already had a back and forth. It's probably not good to bring somebody you've had a fight with down to speak nice. Yeah. Kristen could have had that conversation. Stephanie, anybody, Jazz could have had that conversation with her. It didn't need to be Sage. But this whole situation blows up. Cortni, you go to defend Sage because she's starting to scream and yell at her, and you're like, hey, can you guys take this upstairs? It's disruptive. The guy on stage, like I said, he was 3.5 minutes into his set when this happened. It's a 5-minute set, and we were given like 6 to 7 minutes because we didn't have that many comics. Yeah, and so he was doing his thing, but he had, at this point, with the type of comedy that he does, and Brian and I had a conversation about it because like he's doing an alternative version of comedy. I don't know if you guys, I don't think you guys got into the rhythm. I think that's the problem of what you guys didn't realize. You guys were like, this guy sucks. That's what you said. Like at the end of the day. Like, let's be honest. You're like, this guy fucking sucks. Exciting things are happening at the Kokomo Press. Yeah, very exciting things. Not only are we bringing you comedy shows, an open mic once a week, skits, videos, funny jokes on our page, and satire news stories, but now you can support us by going to kokomopress.shop. It's that simple. You go to kokomopress.shop, you find a t-shirt, you find a hat, maybe in the future some stickers and some posters. You go on there, you buy one of those from us, and percentage of the proceeds will go to us us and help support what we do. We appreciate every person who just likes, subscribes, does all that. But if you go to kokomopress.shop and you buy something, we'll know who you are. You send us a photo of it. We will post it on our page and shout it out. Thank you so much. Go to kokomopress.shop, buy all your shirts and hats needs, and support the Kokomo Press. Thank you guys so much. kokomopress.shop. This guy fucking sucks.
So during the time, listen, like I shout out to the dude. I respect the dude, and I'm not gonna like sit here and bash the shit.
He's a nice guy.
On this.
Yeah.
No, I like him, but
like that. Maybe I didn't understand. I didn't necessarily after everything was all settled. I didn't necessarily get up just because like I didn't enjoy his thing.
Yeah,
it was because of my own anxiety or emotions, or I need to go.
Yeah, you guys were both adrenaline out because you got up and you started yelling, and then you got up and yelled something about. I don't even remember what you said.
I was trying to be like, hey, you are interrupting the show that we are putting on. I believe I said, hey, this dude drove 2 hours to be here, blah, blah, blah. I was heated because like this shit didn't need to happen in the first place.
Understandable.
And like she didn't need to get up and she was getting yelled at, and like got to protect our people.
Yeah.
And to add a little bit of fluff and a little bit of lighthearted in the story, I got everyone's attention in the room when all the shit was going on, and I demanded somebody go get me some peanut butter. So I could show a really cool trick with that dog. I can't wait to listen to that back.
Which realistically, at the end of the day, my main thing is, so I didn't care that the girl got kicked out. Like I didn't think it was handled properly, but that wasn't your responsibility. I was going to have a conversation with Jackie and Sage at that point. I didn't care that the guy. I didn't care that you got up. I didn't care that you got up as much as you guys think I did. I didn't care that much. I know that there's been some conversations back and forth that we've had. There's been some animosity even about it. But a lot of it comes down to the fact that I think part of you guys think that wasn't what frustrated me. What frustrated me was this guy drove 2 hours to do comedy. Him and his buddy. Yeah. This is their first time ever coming in here. We have a great reputation for taking care of people and not having this shit happen. This shit happens. 2 of our members are involved in it. Whether or not, and that's how I looked at it. And so you guys both introduced yourselves. You had the Kokomo Press logo on your hat, and you said, I'm Jordan Bell with the Kokomo Press. Yeah. Exactly. So like we're representing the group, let's be honest, and representing it to the full effect to saying, hi, nice to meet you. Then these guys see this crazy situation happen. Now, obviously, they know that this isn't your fault. So I wasn't blaming you. Right, yeah. What frustrated me was when we reset, everything was done. She went upstairs, everything was over, everybody sat down. You guys sat down. We're like, okay, we're going to let this guy continue his set respectfully. Not that we wanted him to. He really did get pretty close to being done with his set. Yes. I don't think he had enough time to continue to do. That wasn't the point. The point was he's doing to do his set. What frustrated me as the person who watched all this go down and wasn't very happy with it in the first place, wasn't upset at you guys at all about it. I think I even said that at the end of the show. I was like, I don't even care. It's like, I think it was crazy, and I think the whole situation was wild. Those things happen. We've seen them at multiple mics. We've seen them at showcases. Shit happens. We kick out a guy from the roast. Like, shit happens. I don't mind that. What I minded was when you guys sat down after you guys were a part of this whole thing. Next thing I know, you guys there's a whole table basically gets up and walks out while he's in the middle. And you guys if you guys hadn't been a part of it and you guys got up and walked out, I wouldn't have given a shit. But my thing at that point, I feel like it was a respect thing. And I understand, and like a professionalism thing. And I understand from your guys' perspective, hey, our adrenaline was crazy. We needed to go and calm our fucking nerves and get the hell out of here.
I felt like I was bringing too much attention to myself, and I wanted him to be the full attention, and because I felt like everybody was paying attention to me, and I didn't, and I wanted him to be able to have his time. Yeah. So when I saw them get up and go outside, I was like, I'm going to take myself away from this situation to give it back to him. Yeah. That was my intent.
It was never going to, the thing was, we gave him this time. He was never going to get back. It was over at that point.
Look, there's not many times that I yell at a white woman and not go to jail. So I had to mentally prepare.
You had to take that opportunity to do that real
quick. Yeah, bro. Like that's the.
I didn't know anybody else was yelling at her. Honestly, I thought it was just me.
I had to get loud too, and I didn't like that. It makes me feel some sort of way. So even after we sat down and we kind of reset, I was not reset. And like nothing to do with him.
For sure. And she said something to me the same thing, and I was like, obviously your adrenaline's crazy.
I felt I was embarrassed that I did that.
Absolutely, it's
Like-
insane.
Yeah.
And I even apologized to Joe and to Zach. And like,
And I told you,
Like I said, I don't think there was ever any issues with them. That's why I kept saying, like, you guys aren't understanding where I'm coming from. It has nothing to. And honestly, when this got blown out of proportion the next day, in my opinion, blown out of proportion.
No, it absolutely
Between us,
did
yes.
get.
Yeah, between us.
It was a conversation that him and I had separate from you.
That you blew each other up. Yeah,
we were
can we
both
just say that? 'Cause
we
I-
did.
I'm pretty sure I had a
Absolutely. And we
conversation
have
with
had
you.
we had the same conversation.
Okay.
I'm like,
See, I'm
think
not wrong. I'm not wrong. I
You're
was like,
always
I'm
wrong,
No,
but
I'm
in
saying,
this situation.
fuck you. No, I'm saying, I think what's going on right now is Cortni and Jordan are over there, kind of basically
We're
blowing each other up in a way. And I'm pulling
Not
each other.
on purpose.
Pause. But
No.
like thinking that
We're-
I'm going to be mad at you for something that, like, I'm not mad at you guys defending Sage. That's never going to be something
I
I'm going
felt
to be
like
mad
that's
about.
what I was
I wasn't
in trouble
defending
for.
Sage at all. I just
Like-
want to put that out there
Yeah.
because my wife would be like, "Who's the fuck Sage?" And I'd
Well,
be like,
your
"I
wife
don't
was
know."
there. It was fine.
That little white
Yeah.
girl with the blonde hair. She knows.
See,
it.
Well,
don't-
you're
don't-
defending Courtney?
No, I'm
Me.
defending our
It was
mic.
me.
Yeah.
I'm defending what we do. Yes, I'm
But
defending.
from my
Courtney.
perspective, as somebody who I was behind, like, let's be where I am in the building, I'm on the other side of,
I know.
behind a big ass fucking stone table with my fiance trying to figure out. I don't know if you guys know this, but the first thing I did when this happened was I took the camera and I turned it towards. That's not me saying this shouldn't happen, guys. That's me saying I want to get this on tape. I'll tell you, at one point I went.
Yo,
Play the tape.
At one
Play the
point,
tape.
I turned it back towards because I thought it got out of hand. Because at one point, it was you. It was Courtney, Jordan. It was the M guy, MB or what is his
Willie
name?
B.
Willie B.
Yeah.
And it was Sage standing atop a girl with a dog who, in my opinion, even if she's wrong, let's say it's Courtney sitting there.
I
in that
understand
shit.
optics.
Even if she's wrong, the way the whole thing went about is the wrong way to do it. And I would have got defensive if I had 4 people standing over me, kind of screaming at me and kind of saying I'm fucked up for ruining a show. Like I would have, because to be fair, she didn't do anything in the moment. Like she didn't. I understand that she brought the dog in. She wasn't supposed to. That's number one. But like, it's very Karen of us to be like, well, you should have been. You weren't affecting the show, and you weren't like doing anything to us. And honestly, she wasn't feeding the dog in the moment. And honestly, like to me, what happened there felt a little bit like somebody
I
being
heard her
ganged
start
up
yelling
on.
at Sage.
Yeah,
And I
it's that.
understand
And that's when
It's
I
that
got
she
up.
started getting loud. Courtney responded to that.
Yeah. Which
I know.
I get louder.
yeah.
I'll
But
be completely honest.
Sage is a complete adult with autonomy from her boss to do whatever she
I know.
wants.
I don't like. I hate what happened. I don't like the girl because of how she treats my friend that I'm really good friends with. And
But
some
that's
of
an,
him.
that's an underline of this that you guys have all brought up that also makes me feel like there's a little bit of a
Everyone's invested in it because everybody loves Michael.
which
Yeah.
is why I don't think I
wasn't
think
even
the
there?
response was more
Yeah, that
emotional.
motherfucker made out like a bandit.
Yeah.
I think that response was more emotional than it was rational, and that's what makes it unprofessional. And that's what I was frustrated with.
Can I be
like,
real?
realistically?
Maybe there is that, but I think she comes to be.
She does.
She comes. No pause. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like to potentially be a problem.
To pest. And this is how I know she does that because Michael
And I ain't
has
trying to fuck with that.
Yeah, and Michael doesn't talk to her because she comes when Michael goes to events, and they have no back and forth because she's like,
Yeah.
I know it's
Keep going, keep going,
pause
keep
100
going,
times,
keep going. I
but
can't help
basically,
it.
yeah, but like she will enter the building to see if Michael's there to watch and critique a set and be a dickhead to him, and then when he's not there, she's just kind of stuck there.
Yeah.
But I do agree, and I told
get
you
that
this.
she patrons our shit.
It was handled wrong, and I think you think that when I say it's handled wrong, it's like, okay, I'm automatically sucking Jordan's dick and I'm on his side. I was a part of making it wrong. I was a part of that being wrong. I should have took the mic, me being a host, and I have more years than anybody in this room.
Oh, yeah,
when it
doing
comes to comedy,
yeah.
I should know better, and sometimes I just don't, and I'm not the best leader. But I should have went up there and I should have said, Sage, can you do me a favor? And you guys go up there now. If you keep doing this, I'm going to get a hold of I should have fucking did what I needed to do.
Instead, he pulled out his phone and was World Star.
Oh yeah, and I made a fucking
record it?
yeah, I got it on my phone. And I made a peanut butter joke. I did all kinds of dumb shit. Like,
I mean, that's also why I got up. I don't know, like I don't remember what I said in the moment.
I don't either.
I know I got
remember
loud.
she called me stupid, and I said,
you
I'm not
tried to
stupid. I
defuse-
didn't bring
well,
a dog to a bar.
You try to diffuse a situation, but you tried diffusing it by saying, "Y'all shut the fuck up."
Yeah, you did say that. I'm pretty sure you said
well,
that.
they just kept getting louder.
They did.
As I was trying to talk on the mic to be like, "Hey, can you guys stop? Like, this is a show." And then if you could, I don't know.
You started out like that. You did. You started like, "Hey, chill," and then you used to like, "Shut the fuck up."
Well, yeah, I go 0 to 100 real quick, and I don't know, especially when people yell.
She
I
didn't
don't
do any
handle that
favors
very
for
well.
herself, though. She didn't. She didn't do any favors for herself. She threw
doesn't.
fries. She got upset.
I don't think she threw. I think they fell out of her.
No, she threw them.
I need to
She
look then.
pushed it.
She
was
got up and
directly.
pushed
She
them
was
on the
pissed.
floor.
Yeah.
She
It was
she shoved them.
intentional.
Okay. Yeah.
She was being hostile first, and that's my response. When I went over there and I said, "Hey, you need to leave."
Yeah.
You guys, I said, "Can you guys?" I was directed at
Yeah, I
Sage
know.
and
I know
her,
that. I know that.
and then she started saying that Sage was a bitch, and she started saying that Sage was putting things in her drinks, and I was like, "You need to stop, go upstairs."
Yeah.
And then she started talking shit to me, and I don't do well with that.
I know. It's
But-
the North End, yeah.
Also,
I
in her
know.
defense, you're wearing a shirt that night that is the
I
same
know,
shirt.
I know.
Don't bully me, I'll come. And she says that. She goes, "You're wearing a shirt that says don't bully me, I'll come." And it was real funny.
I know.
She had him pop that night.
But I think at the end of it all, like I said, getting her out of there was the main goal. We got her out of there, and then what frustrated me was, you guys left me and Brian have to listen to the rest of this. I'm just kidding. No,
I figured.
Let me.
That's what it was.
That's what it was, because you wanted to go out there and talk shit with us.
No, it's not that. No, it's the optics of having he just
I know,
finally
and
got
I
back, and then the whole
absolutely-
table gets up and leaves, and
I feel super bad for
I
that,
know.
but also like I could not physically sit there.
Yeah, it was.
And there's not, it's
But-
also,
and that's not even anything to do with them.
I was just going to say, you're probably more than likely, and I'm not just saying this to say this, you're probably going to be, you would be having this conversation with me as well if I wasn't hosting, because I already, I was like trying to make a joke in light of it, but my anxiety on the inside, I'm like, what's going to come of this? I'm freaking out.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what's going to go on?
It's fight or flight.
I probably would have went out and hit a one hitter or something.
I'm surprised. I'm gonna be real. I'm surprised you didn't come out too.
I was hosting
on some real shit.
I didn't know how long the guy was going to go, and I was trying to give them. I really was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, because I'm like, his buddy Zach pulled me aside before the show and was like, "Hey, I just want you to know Joe's cool. He's really, really new at this."
Yeah,
But you guys
Really
noticed?
new.
Do you guys know what he was trying to do? Did you guys notice what he was trying to do?
It's off kilter. Some of that was.
I
Probably
know you guys are probably getting like he seems like he's doing this thing. Okay, so it's a bit. It's a fucking bit. He's doing a like a nervous, and he's like,
his bit is that he's not
yes,
good?
that's the.
just
It's not that he's not
backwards.
good. The bit is that he's acting like he's like a kid, like
His
that
bit
was
is being me.
If you noticed what he was doing, like the way he was doing it, there's no fucking possible way it took him that long to read. And then he did the same thing. He kept going.
I thought he was just weird.
It was
Some
a
of
bit.
it is, and
It's a bit.
some of it is nerves.
Some of it's nerves, but
Some
it's
of it is
also a
nerves.
bit. It's clearly a bit.
Clitorally, yeah.
clitorally.
He licks his, or he reads his.
He
off
licks
his
it,
phone.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he licks it. He reads off
So-
his phone.
He licks his clitorate.
He clitorate. He
I-
clitorate.
I'm gonna be real. If I understood his bit, I probably still would have got up to go smoke.
Yeah.
Like again, nothing against it.
But here's
And
my
it
thing.
had nothing to do with that. I honestly was trying to give him his the respect that he needed.
To be
for doing
completely
it.
fair, you guys, I've learned, I think we've been doing this for close to 6 years now. I've learned like when are the right times to have conversations with you guys after these situations. Okay, let's talk about this, because I'm not anybody's fucking dad. Let me start with that.
You are.
Let me start with that. I'm
You
not
are
the
the
dad.
dad.
I'm also don't need to be murdered as the CEO of this group. I think that's a bad day when you're upset to post that. I think I felt pretty. I was like, this is fucking subliminal bullshit. And you did a couple other things that felt like subs, and I'm like, okay, so let's keep it real. Alicon posts something about how I have the best team, and then you're like, it's the team for me, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
That wasn't sub.
It felt subby.
I mean,
did you feel like it was
feel
subby? Don't lie,
sometimes,
Courtney. Did
Me?
you feel
I
like
didn't
that would have
see
been
it.
subby? Well, and then there was something else that was put out.
The CEO
Adam
thing-
posted something, and you commented on it too. That I was like, what the fuck, dude? And I'm like, I don't do that. I try not to do that shit too much. I did post something that was a sub, not to you guys, to somebody else that you guys probably could have taken it as you. But I did post a sub this week. I don't do that very often personally. But as far as I'm concerned with that type of stuff, I have to care, or like Brian just made a very good point. he doesn't always feel like he's a leader in these situations, right? Like we could all lead. I think we all can be leaders in certain situations, but in certain situations we can't.
Right.
I feel like a lot of that leadership shit does fall on me. Partially because like when we started the page, Brian and I, when I did the Kokomo Scanner 2.0, I did that shit by my fucking self for the longest time. I brought Brian in to do stuff, and he always felt guilty because he lost the page. Okay, he felt guilty for losing the page.
Before we were even with you guys, I always used Jordan as, if anything, like he was a filter for me. Like I would ask him, and like I started learning, and sometimes I would go over him, but like I'd have to ask him for, dude, can I post this? Is this okay? Sometimes I would delete it and shit. And it's like, that's what, like, I mean, that's before he was even known as like the leader and shit. Like I was going through him for he was the one that made the decision on that shit. So like that's how I've always looked at it.
And you were kind of new to it, and I do think you were coming in. You were but you were coming into my space, all over my space, and just completely finishing all over my space. And pause. I can say pause though. If I say pause, okay. And then you came into the space, and then eventually you got comfortable, and then we did lose the page. So I do feel like there was a feeling with it where you were kind of like, we weren't sure if we were going to do another page. That's 100%. That's something. We ended up joining somebody else's page. That's a long fucking story. And then we ended up deciding
Daddy's page.
We couldn't. He's the real dad.
It's
not
daddy.
me. He's the real
daddy.
dad. Then we decided we were going to do this again. And when we decided to start the page, we started it. He's on the other 20. We started the other 20.
That is insane to me.
Another 20 ounces.
That's how I live. Don't judge me.
I ate a candy bar last night. I took a bite of Matt's Jolly Laffy Taffy, and I had a fucking cardiac arrest. It felt like.
Damn, you coughing too much.
I'm sorry.
I'm really just trying to be the sponsor for Type 2 eventually, and like eventually nobody will know who that Willard Seymour motherfucker
Your blood's
is.
got to be scissor, bro.
Yeah.
Straight syrup.
No, it's the bull semen. You remember how they always like, we make bull semen, and that your blood just.
Hey, while you guys make cum jokes, can I go pee?
No, I want to finish this first before you get to pee. Is that cool? You got a whole. You shouldn't have brought 2 coffees.
I know,
2 drinks.
that's the problem.
Let's wrap a bow around this a little bit. When we decided to start the page, we weren't sure what we were gonna do. We ended up hitting you guys up and saying, "Hey, do you guys want to do this with us?" When we added you guys to the group, we were not expecting you guys to carry the load of what Brian and I do. The whole point in my head was they're gonna carve out their own space. We'll figure it out as we go. And I know over the years, it feels like we've all kind of fallen into different roles based on of things that either pre-existed or things that we're good at. You found a way to so one of the things that happened in the group pretty early was you wanted to kind of take on things that I was already doing, which makes things difficult because I was already doing them and I didn't want to relinquish them. Yeah. So that's part of it. So you went and did it over there.
Yeah.
So you went over to in your house and took over there, and you've learned a lot and you've done a lot. But I just didn't have the time to I didn't want to be patient. If you would have joined Kokomo Scanner 2.0 in the beginning when I was doing what you were doing at the time, we would have been fine. Yeah. But the fact that I feel like we were at a certain look that I wanted to have. That's how I am. I'm very weird about the optics. You guys understand. Optics is what I care about. If things don't look right or sound right or they're not, we don't have the. I mean, Brian and I have gotten into it about wording. And that's something that he and I both care about. One day he and I were having a grammatical argument about how to do parentheses or how to do quotations. We had a whole ass conversation. He's like, "Don't change my shit." And I'm like, "Bro, it was grammatically incorrect."
That fucking drives me up. I know. Now I've appreciated it, but I used to drive me. I used to be like, "God damn you!"
God, I fucking hate the way you changed that. Yeah. You would put a space in a weird place, and it would be in the middle of a. It was just paragraphs would be weird. It was stuff that, it happens. And it's honestly not that big of a deal to me. But that's when I decided to start joking around and calling myself the editor-in-chief. Because, hey, can I post this or something? That's what an editor-in-chief would be like. Yeah, go ahead and post that. Or, hey, can you look at this over? That's why I started calling myself the editor-in-chief, because we're a newspaper.
This is also why we call you dad, because we all have daddy issues, except for Courtney.
She still has daddy issues.
I have daddy issues. Mine are just different.
Hers are just different.
I have a dad. He just doesn't like me.
Yeah. I just didn't have parents. But
I just need you guys to be aware that I would never take something like being an editor-in-chief of this page as
you just covered it.
I would never become an editor-in-chief and decide that was my whole personality and make it a part, make myself be put it it's really just a title as a joke. And then when we started calling Brian the head writer, it mostly was so that I could be ladies and gentlemen, the next guy coming to the stage, he is the head writer of the Kokomo Press and head giver of the Kokomo Press. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Brian out west. It's literally so I could say that. Now, the terms I have for you guys, I can't legally say on a podcast because I'm just kidding. Yeah, I call you the head of HR. You're head of human resources. You're labor relations, and
that's what I was doing was my job.
Belle is head of department, the head of diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Yeah.
So like those are the jokes. But like honestly, the title that I gave myself, because you guys do this thing where you guys bounce between like you gave yourself that title and he's in charge because he has this title, a stupid fake title, and I'm like, yeah, it's fake. That's the whole point, guys. It's to be goofy and to just have something to say. Really, one of the bigger reasons why I wanted to put it out there as the editor-in-chief as a joke was because if we get shows and we're in, I hate more than anything, the next guy comes to stage, he's part of the Kokomo Press. Gross. He's 1/4 of. He's the Kokomo Press guy. I hate that. I would rather them say, your next guy come to the stage, he's the producer extraordinaire of In Your House and the Kokomo Press podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Or the next person comes to the stage, Cortni? She's coming up?
No.
I don't understand why we have titles.
Create your own title. I don't give a fuck. It can be whatever you want.
We don't make fun of your title.
Don't get mad because we make fun of it. We make fun of everything.
No, I just don't want you guys to take it seriously.
We don't.
No.
I literally went and got this put on my hat as a joke to fuck around. And I told KK Call of Duty that this is serious. KK Call of Duty is the guy who works at Lids. He runs the Lids, but he's also a rapper named KK Call of Duty. Check him out. But this is... I had him put this on there yesterday so I could wear it for this podcast specifically.
How much is it to get that done?
$15.
That's
so
it.
cheap.
Not bad.
$15 to get like anything you want written on a hat.
Okay, sweet.
Well, I say anything, but come on.
You got to watch it.
Come on.
Well,
come on.
You
I got one for Cordy that says head of cum.
Ooh.
And it's community urban marketplace.
Will they put Noah's last name on it?
Yeah, Noah. No, they won't. You can only get that if you're black, and they won't let you put it on there. And you can't do the ER at all.
I like the.
But if you drop a G, it's okay.
Just
because it's a
make
country.
it like YNB or something like that.
I tried to do my one thing that I think got lost in this entire shuffle is the fact that I tried to do an N-word joke on stage the other day and it died.
Remind me what it was because I know I laughed at it. I just can't remember.
No, I was trying to talk about how the fact that like the funny thing is I used to say it all the time and then I didn't even realize I was saying it until I realized I was saying it. That's what makes it funny. But when they would call my house, and this is a fact, they would say, "Can I speak with Grandnigga?" But Grainger.
Dude!
I'm saying it because that's what they would say.
You have to say it.
If I don't say it, it doesn't make sense.
When you spell it out loud, it's
not the same word.
We're too stupid to spell it.
If you do the joke, you have to say the word.
I know.
Yeah.
I went to say it. I looked at your face, Von Juan's face, and Brent's face, and I said, I'm bailing out on this one. I'm pulling the shoot.
Pussy.
I'm pulling the
As
shoot.
a guy that's in several black shows
You did it
and still has a
right.
good relationship, I'm booking you. I'm getting you booked. But you have to do that show. You have to do that joke. I'll book you.
In a
but you
black
have to do that
room.
joke.
But the joke...
And the all black room.
I explained that joke and that they do it all the time, and I thought it was fucked up. But then at the end of it, the whole thing is like, I've probably been called the N-word more than any of you.
That's the joke. Yeah.
That's the really... It's a setup to be like, I used to have people call my house and call me the N-word. Yeah. People used to call my house and call me the N-word all the time. It happened. Can I speak with Jordan Grainger? Can I speak with Deborah Grainger? But they would say Grainger.
Yeah.
But they would take the I and purposely make a slur. Yeah. They didn't need to do that.
When you say it like that, though, when you say Grainger. Yeah, it doesn't sound.
You say gran, and then you finish it.
No, that's right.
When I say
do that.
When I say
grand, you say grand. When I say grand. All right, go pee. Get the fuck out of here. Go pee. You still have to pee. Go.
Yeah.
You can go.
Woo.
Okay.
I just wanted to get through that whole conversation because I think it's funnier if we do it on the podcast than if we have a conversation in real life. No. But at the end of the day, I do think, and this is particularly just to you, some of the stuff you said was pretty fucked up. Fuck you. For no reason.
Wait. Okay.
You don't think that some of it's pretty... You basically took what my girlfriend, his wife, and probably your wife say to you whenever you're like, I got to go to the bar tonight, and you weaponize it against the group.
No. I'm not trying to weaponize it, but it is a real thing.
Because, but you weaponized it. You maybe weren't... You're not trying to do it, but
the way you felt about it, though, was basically it's like... your point that you were coming from was it's like, listen, man, I invest a lot of my time and do a lot of stuff in this. If I want to go have a cigarette, I'm going to have a cigarette.
It's mainly.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, it's mainly why am I getting shit for a situation?
I didn't give a fuck about the cigarette at all. That's how he.
That's how I think that's where the wires were crossed.
You fucked. You did this dude wrong because you went to go smoke a cigarette.
But what your point was, you just told we have it on video. What you just told your whole point and how you felt about it was, and again, it was like everybody's was running hot that night because of just what had happened and everything, and then like the fallout of it, and like everybody thought everyone was mad at each other. Everybody thought everybody was shitty.
I wasn't upset at anybody. I more was upset with the situation and how it never happens again. That was my concern. Was like, how do we not let this happen again?
I don't think it will.
I'm turning this back around. It's driving me crazy.
I think that it's crazy to think that shit's not going to ever happen again.
It will.
Keep doing it.
But I mean, the way in which it was handled, the fact that it came down to us having to say anything, because it had nothing. Here's the reality. It had nothing to do with us or our open mic. It had everything to do with Cooper's and their policy. Yeah. So at that point, when it should not be our. Okay, so here's another example. Somebody one time outside, and it was the same night as we had an incident, but one time there were people who had liquor under the table. They brought a bottle. That's highly illegal. You cannot bring liquor to a bar and have it like. I mean, you can't do that anyway. You can't just walk around with an open bottle of liquor.
If you're square, yeah.
If you're square, but you're not supposed to do that.
I've never seen anyone do that in a bar.
But the bar can get in trouble for it.
Yeah, I understood.
The bar can get like in trouble. Their license revoked, everything. So when that happened, I didn't go say anything. I told the bartender, "Hey, somebody sold the bartender," and then the bartender took it out, because that really has nothing to do with us.
Right.
Which is what I think that's what, for me, it was like, man, I'm not upset at any of you guys standing up to try to help Sage in that situation. What frustrated me, and even then, I was barely even upset about you guys going outside. What upset me was the fact that, like, when it came down to it, it became like an argument about a bunch of other shit that had nothing to do with what we're talking about. Like,
can we just, like, elephant in the room is, I think we collectively we have a lot going on.
Oh yeah,
this is stressful.
Oh, it's very stressful.
It is very stressful, and like time be a real thing, and like energy be a real thing, and like I'm happy that this is probably our last like podcast for a little bit.
Yeah, we're not going to do nothing until the new year.
I think we need the break. But if we recollect on everything that we've done in the last fucking year, we are fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I love everything that we do.
Yeah.
Even if
you're not getting paid.
Bro, it's not even it's not about the payment.
I know, like, it's funny.
It's just like, bro, like,
let me keep it real. Everything that you said, all those grievances, like you said, I'm not getting paid for this. I don't like being at a bar for 4 to 5, 6 hours every week. I don't. That's not what I signed up for. I hate dealing with this shit. All the stuff that you said is literally shit that I get bitched about every time we have the mic. Like, oh my god, you got to be at a bar every week. You don't get paid for this. Which is why I said you guys you're weaponizing what our girls say to us, and I didn't like that.
I'm not trying to weaponize it. I'm telling you, it's a real thing, and like I think we have to figure it out as a family in the Kokomo Press, as our families outside of, like, real families.
I think part of it is the fact that we need a place that we can go every week and do comedy. That's a fact. If we're going to grow in the comedy aspect of what we're doing, what we were doing before, writing sets and then doing them for the first time at shows, is unsustainable. That's completely, it's fucking insane to do. It's insane to ask people to pay for it.
Workload, like
it's a lot.
The amount of like, oh my God. Like,
yeah.
I love how much I've grown like personally as a comedian, and I don't want, like, it's odd because like I don't want to stop doing comedy because I feel like I'm grasping it. Like, even if I'm not great at everything, like I'll like I'm learning and things like that.
You're getting comfortable on stage, which is important.
Yeah.
I think honestly that's what, based on, I mean, I've been doing comedy for probably going on 7 years now.
Right.
Brian, you've been doing it for 10 plus.
I hate saying that.
I know. But you have
2016.
You can tell when you go on stage that you've been doing it as long as you have. That's the thing, is like you can see a step. To me, the way I look at it is you can see the step up from me to you. Because of how long you've been doing it.
You've been going in your own.
Will you guys back me up on this?
Booking. No,
I mean his comfortability on stage, the ease of him writing jokes.
And the way he writes, it's easy.
I think it's just
I know it's not easy, but it's the ease at which you do it.
But
it's always seemed easy for you.
I don't see.
But that's because you had X amount on us already.
I never see your process. If this is fair, I see Jordan's process.
Yeah.
He talks.
You've
to me
made,
about,
dude.
about
You've
his
made, like,
process and
it's
things
crazy.
like that.
I know that you're being, it's probably how you really feel. I know you're being very nice and stuff, but it's like you've came from like, if you go from our first showcase open mic at the record store, from like when you were hosting and you didn't know what the fuck you were doing.
No.
I mean, you got the hosting aspect, but when it came down to the jokes, I mean, you had the fucking Cupid Shuffle joke, which was really funny and stuff.
I haven't done that in
but like
years.
you kind of went down there, you don't have the voice. You had nowhere near the voice you had now.
No, I didn't know what I was doing.
Now you have a presence. Now you have. We've talked about it again too. You're writing jokes for yourself.
The Cupid Shuffle joke was one of the few jokes in that set that felt like it was written by me, and not written. So like when I started doing comedy, when I first ever got on stage, you kind of go like, you should come do comedy, blah blah blah. I basically started doing comedy writing like you do. Like I was writing like, how would Brian write a joke? Because like you were my friend and I knew we had wrote jokes together. So I was like, how would you? So I saw what you did. You do this process of like you write really funny. Like they're not one-liners, but they're kind of like little bits, and then you move on to the next set, and then you bits
or a bunch of them up.
But like the way you wrote jokes, the way in my brain looked at it was like, oh, I can do that. I tried to do it for a while. It was okay. Some of them would do well. Some of them would do okay. But then I realized over time that that's not my voice. That's me trying to write like somebody else does. And so I decided my voice is to tell stories that happen in my life, because that to me, and then write bits and write, punchlines with it, because that to me is what makes it interesting to me. I think like when I started, Sean started a little bit after. Sean was scared shitless to be on stage. I was never scared to be on stage, like never. But Sean got really good at writing bits and got comfortable on stage. So he's really good at writing the bits and stuff. But for me, it's all about stories. I think where Bell starts from is you start from a story, like you want to tell a story, right? Like, and so you started at stories first. Yeah. Which I didn't start at stories first because I couldn't do it in the beginning. I couldn't. It just wasn't where I was at. And I think if I was to critique all of us, for me, it would be do better at tags. I 100% need to add tags to my thing. If I was to critique Brian, I would say do better at bunching, which I think you're doing better at already. I think you've gotten better in the last year at it. If I got you, I would say get better at being comfortable. Your punchlines are there. Your setups are. Yeah. The way you get in the setup, sometimes I'm like, God, where's he going? He's going to get there.
Yeah, I fumble through shit, but I'm still learning.
Yeah, you're learning.
Dude,
this is why.
And for you, just get on the fucking stage.
Exactly.
Just get on stage. Just do it. I know, but keep doing it. Don't just do it once and say I'm done. Because I know it's easy to do that and say, well, I did it, guys. I'll do it once a month. You're not going to get better if you do it once a month. No, you really won't. Not. And that's something that I think we all had to learn in this process of doing the mic is you take a month off, it's like you're starting over almost. It feels like it. Like you lose your rhythms, you lose everything. So I would implore you, like if you're going to get serious about it, in the next year or whatever, and you really want to try to do this.
Was it okay though?
Yeah, you did fun. You had fun.
Tell her she did a good job.
People laughed.
Yeah, people
did a good job.
But like, I don't want to I want to say she did good, but I don't want to give you unrealistic expectations.
No, I need to know if I need to change anything, because there was a lot of stuff I didn't do. I can send you the audio
and you can listen to it and you can listen to yourself and you can hear, and it might take you a while to figure it out, but you can hear in it where you're like, oh, I'm kind of over explaining. That's one thing that all comics do in the beginning. We over explain our setups to try to get to a punchline. By the time you get to the punchline, they're like, what the fuck are we talking about? You just spent 20 minutes giving me a diatribe about it.
This is why I just did like crowd work the other day.
Yeah.
Because like I just want to get better at instantly funny. Like kind of instantly snappy funny, because then I feel like if I get better at that, I can utilize that and put that into
I think the opposite. I think the opposite. If I said my thing is, if you got more comfortable in your bits, where you learned the rhythm every time, and kind of they got not necessarily Sean rigid, because I always mess with him and say his is the most rigid, not Sean rigid, but I think if you and Sean were to become one person, you guys would be insanely powerhouse comic, because you actually are already good. You don't know this, but you're already good at that. You're good at crowd work. Oh. You already are. I think if you say I'm only going to do crwould work, might hurt yourself. Not.
Like I like to work on everything.
I don't think you can roll with the punches better than Sean can. Would you agree with that? Like if something random happens in the audience, Sean might be like, okay, let me get back to what I was saying. You're more like, what the fuck was that? What's going on? Hey, I don't think you have a problem. I think you're good at that already, because you do podcasting. That's what we do. It's like out of nowhere, I'm going to talk about this. But I think what you need to get better at is saying, I'm going to do my bits. Yeah. Even if you get like you'll see me or even Brian, like, what's that? okay. And then I'm like, yeah, that's fucking wild. Actually, there's a DAW, and then he'll get into a bit. I think if you did a little bit, mix them both. Make sure you like have like 3 or 4 bits that you want to get into for sure. Talk a little bit and then get into your bit. That's what I would do. That's just my personal thing. If Sean was here, I would tell him to do the opposite. I would tell him to go on stage,
to do more crowd work,
and just be more flexible. Be more flexible with what you're doing. Like, you know, you're gonna go, but don't go bit to bit. Like Sean rides bits like this, okay, and he ignores the waves. He's just like, here's the bit, here's the bit, here's the bit. Yeah. Whereas I feel like you're kind of like, oh, and then. Yeah. Oh, and I feel like if you guys had a good mixture, I think it would be perfect. But in my head, it's like there's so many things about myself I have to do better on stage as well, which is like I need to be a better writer because I know what I'll write like 3 words and be like, that's what I'm talking about today. And I'm like, if I actually would have written out the jokes, it probably would have been better.
Well,
like if I wrote it out. How much
time do you actually spend out writing early? Like I write things in my I write things in my head. I think about
Grainger.
things.
My mom's calling.
Your mom's calling.
Yeah.
Can we talk to her?
No, we're not.
Come on. Let's open up some wounds.
Hello, Mom.
Mrs. Grainger.
You're live
Mom.
on the Kokomo Press podcast. How you doing,
Grainger,
Mom?
this is the morgue.
We lost her son.
Am I really live on the Kokomo podcast?
Yeah, we're in the middle of the podcast. We shoot from like 2 to 4:30 every Sunday.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know. I just got off work. I just wanted to tell you I just got off work.
You're here with Mayor Moore. What
Are
do
you
you have
doing
to say?
okay?
Okay, your 60, almost 61-year-old mother just got off work a 7-day stint.
Oh shit!
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
This is
Overtime during the week, too.
I mean, and I didn't even know the hugger ran all 7 days, Mom. But I'm really proud of you. Proud of you.
I thought they took Sundays off.
I don't pay as much as you do for 1 hour today.
Hell
Like
yeah!
double time.
Hell yeah! The Puzzle Factory does pay well.
Yep. Well, now I had to take a vacation day tomorrow so I could live.
Okay, well, have a good one. I'll talk to you soon, Mom. I'll give you a call back after the podcast.
Sorry,
Bye, Mom.
Love you.
Love you, Mom.
Love
Bye.
you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
That was fun. My mom got on the
You want
podcast.
to call my mom now?
She's been trying to get on the podcast for a while.
You
I think
wanna
your
call
mom's been
mine?
on already. Your mom's been on. Haven't we called her?
I don't remember.
Haven't we call her one time?
Probably.
Let's call my dad.
Call your father.
Nobody he didn't
Do you
answer.
have his number?
Yeah, it's 911. Hey, can I? Or what's the number to the jail?
somebody go 911.
No, I think, but the mic, as frustrating as the mic can be, because like there are days where I think all of us collectively, individually, and you know, some days I walk in there and I'm so fucking excited because I'm like, God, I'm so happy today. I get to hang out with my friends, tell jokes. I've got a joke I want to work on. Somebody cool is coming tonight. We're gonna have a good night. And then there's some days where I'm like, I have to force myself to walk through the fucking door. I think we all have to have those days, right?
Oh yeah.
Like it's just part. It's part of doing something. Every
We
week.
started this year. This is our first year of doing this. We went from
I didn't realize we were gonna do this. Like,
yeah.
I think it's important.
I think it is too.
We had the intentions and we had the goals to do it. I don't think we really thought about the amount of work that went into doing it.
Yeah.
And it's not even that.
And we were a Facebook page and then we did a podcast and I was like, okay, Sundays, that's fine. Then we moved on to like, we need to have meetings every Monday and that's another day a week.
Eventually, I'm going to have you guys move into the house. And
that's fine.
That thing is
compound.
a thing. Like if we just move together,
Can we just buy a big piece of land and just each have our own little house on it?
Honestly, I've literally considered, and that's something I haven't talked to you guys about, but I've considered hitting up like some place that like rents like a room or two and saying, hey, let's just set up.
Matt said there's an office there like downtown that does that for people that do go to work.
They're so small. I know.
Are they?
I've seen them. They're like tiny. It's like literally an
I would
office.
want a big space.
Yeah, it's smaller or as big as this, maybe smaller. I think it's actually small because it's like more pushed in. But my thing would be if we could. It's the hub. It's right next to where he.
Like if we had outhouse.
If we had, I mean, you know, I'm not praying on their downfall or anything, but if Jesse's like, man, I can't make the bills, I can be like, hey, bro, listen, we'll rent out that back room and it'll be Kokomo Press's room. And no, I'm just kidding. I want them to do well. And I think
that's
things are going well.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. Well, I'm saying, but if they, I mean, you know, what I'm saying, if we could find somebody, like one of the concepts I had was like, when they were opening up Lucky Raven, they have all these little separate studio rooms. What if we just had a studio room somewhere? And I'm like, that would not be impossible. I've also seen tiny little like businesses that revolve around these tiny little places that you could set up. Like they have one that you could turn into a tiny little studio room that we could use for something.
Yeah.
I would love that in
the
the sense
future.
that like even if we're not all together, maybe we had an idea, hey, we can go run and shoot a thing. Or like
we were going to do, like we were just going to keep my house when I bought a new house and just use it as like a home base.
If I could take this room, or take this room and put it into a place where any of us could go to at any time and film, that's what I'd like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, initially I had the idea of opening it up. I mean, I can talk about it now because somebody else has already done it locally, but I wanted to open up a studio that people could come in and rent and use equipment. And there's a place doing it in town now, which, it's a sore subject for me because I'm like, fuck, I wanted to do that. But if I could take this and turn this and have,
like they know,
I know
that you, we,
do I know them?
It was in thoughts.
Yeah.
Well, it's Vision Studios.
It's called Vision Studio. It's run by somebody who works for Kokomo Post, of course.
Not gonna lie, I just visited there.
Yeah.
I hope I can talk about that.
You're nice.
I was on Scrap Daddy's podcast. He won a contest where they will produce an 8-episode podcast series for him. His podcast series is diving into the world of music.
I want to be
as
careful.
you grow.
I want to be careful because he said he didn't want to put anything out about it yet. Last week when I asked him when he was on the show,
I didn't put out too much.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. I just want to be careful because he's like, I don't even want to. Because I asked him if he wanted to announce it on the show, and he's like, I don't want that out there.
Oh, okay.
That's the only reason why I'm like, ugh. But yeah, he's doing his own thing. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
He has his own thing. So
I'm supposed to be on an episode as well.
I visited the studio. It's a very nice setup. Not gonna lie.
But it's nice. It's state of the art. Everything they have is super awesome. The problem is that it's annoying to me personally. I'm not gonna hate anybody that does it. It just annoys me a little bit because I'm like, fuck. I've been wanting to do that for since we opened.
Did they know that you wanted to do it?
We've talked about things. It's been out there, and even then, it's not an original idea. They have it in other cities. It's not that big of a deal. My concept was going to be a little bit different. I would have loved at some point if this was a studio that we could go to. That Scrap could have just filmed it.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
what I would have rather had is have somebody. And my whole concept was maybe take the buyout from work, open the studio, and then I would just full-time work in there as a producer for people.
We just worry about
well, Matt wants to do the same thing.
Oh, I know.
But I mean, to use.
He was supposed to help work with me on that.
Yeah.
One. It was supposed to be all of us. I wanted to be a group of us. If Matt did the evenings, I do the morning, or we do every other evening and morning or something. And
I mean, that's what a lot of YouTubers do. They have like a facility. Yeah. They do all their stuff in.
Yeah, and that's what I want. I think that's my goal eventually, and I know it's impossible because we have little kids, but our kids are going to get older. And it's going to be easier for us to do stuff. And at some point, I'm hoping that when their kids are older, we could turn this into something where the kids that do what we do in the future will have a place that they can actually.
Absolutely.
You want to buy a pole barn for my backyard?
Your backyard's not. Well, your backyard is pretty big.
I have a big backyard. I just need to get. I mean, I have a guy flattening it out this year. It's the beginning.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
That's good.
I know we have.
I'm going to replace that back barn so we could get a big one. And just
my thing is there's a place. And I don't even know if I want to put this out there, but you guys remember where Barlow's used to be on Main Street?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a little tiny building behind there that's like a little. Have you seen that? It's a tiny little this is a little baby building. They've used it for dog groomers. They've used it for a ton of things. I think that would be a perfect place. It's not huge. There's a room. You could build a room that you could walk into that would be an office area, and then the back would be a studio. That's all it would be. And the studio would be big enough that we could have an entire set like this, and then you could take the chairs out, and then you could put and take pictures or film a scene in a green screen. It's there's so much we could do with it. But that was my hope was I wanted a one room. Yeah. The main thing was I would like to do a multi-room at some point. At least the start would be an office area, a front area where you could get coffee and drinks and stuff, and then sign up and do everything a waiting area, and then there'd be a main area where it would be closed off.
What were you saying?
And we would just produce.
I know that we all want this to grow and continue to grow and continue to thrive because I feel like we are doing very big things.
Yeah,
and I think other people maybe didn't see the potential that maybe we have all collectively saw or started to see or throughout this, but we've grown so much, and I expect us at some point at some time to have some sort of brick and mortar sort of deal,
even though it's going to cost money.
It's going to cost money,
big thing, but that's what
it's going to cost money. But I know that at the four of us right here, and potentially, maybe
eventually it's going to happen.
I think a big thing, and I was talking to him last night. I sent you a message. What I sent you a message about? I said I want to have 50,000 to 80,000 likes.
Yeah, follows.
Follows soon, and I think in order for us to grow and get more, because we've done a lot and killed and stuff, but I think we just need to keep grinding, keep doing what we're doing.
I feel like we've already become something, but I think the main thing next is become undeniable. And my thing is, if you want to, we've all been undesirable from the start.
Yes,
I want to be completely undeniable, and that's to the point. That's like more followers than the town has. That's doubling up the town.
We need 80 to 100K, right?
Yeah,
we got 50,000 here. And
we've got 27.
We need all of Central Indiana if we're being real.
50,000 in Kokomo.
Yeah, 50K.
I think ultimately, the big picture is just don't fuck with me, or I will fight you.
You didn't fight her.
Also, I told Matt, I was like, I'm not from Taylor Street.
I saw it. I was like, why did she post
and
this
then
racist
I should have said Indian Heights.
Yeah, that would have been better.
Yeah.
Well, even then, I feel like that's still racist. But no, what you said was
trying
racist.
to out you as CEO because I was mad. I genuinely, I was just like, this is kind of funny.
It would have been a funny joke if I didn't catch on pretty fastly that you and Cortni were secretly complaining about me, about something that I didn't even fucking like. I didn't even feel. That was the weirdest part. Was you guys were pretending I felt a certain way.
I think it was more so we were just very embarrassed by what happened.
I think so too. But if you guys would have came in, like, here's my thing: if you were embarrassed by it, then I feel like if you guys would have came in the group and said, "Hey, man, we fucked up last night. We should have done better. Let's figure out
with a joke."
But it was all like you did not. That's not how you broached the situation whatsoever.
No, I didn't.
You didn't. You came straight at it. Let's be honest.
No, I did.
Came straight at it. You fucking removed yourself from the group and said, I'm going to self-suspend myself when they're about to do a fucking holiday special. Yeah. I'm like, great. You're going to be suspended during a holiday special. That makes fucking... Number one, the suspensions are jokes. Nobody's ever been suspended in this group ever. I never would suspend anyone in this group.
We just quit when we
I messaged you.
When you get mad, you guys quit. And I'm like, stop doing that. I'm like, at the end of the day... I know, it wasn't you. It was her. That's what I'm saying. She did it.
I'm like, I'm going to make this easier and I'm just going to quit.
Yeah, but to me, that doesn't make it easy. That makes it dramatic.
That also, at the end of the day, it makes it so much harder for everything that we've been doing.
It becomes a problem. It becomes it changes the conversation of being like, hey...
You were so down on yourself and bummed out and thinking everybody... You thought that I think you think everyone hated you, and that wasn't the case at all. You were tripping out.
Well, can you tell me the truth here? Do you think what happened was when you made that fucking joke and then everybody said, you scared me? Tell me that didn't affect like what you said. Did. Because realistically, I knew, and I told Brian this separately because he didn't even see those posts. I said she posted a joke that was borderline racist, but
I didn't mean for it to be racist.
But it went borderline racist. If you'd have said I'm from the North End, I'm not from Gary. Yeah. You know what I mean? But you went very specific to, and even then that'd have been racist. But or let's say if you'd have been like, I'm from the North End, I'm not from the Flavor of Love. Maybe that would have been okay because all those bitches are fighting regardless of race. But like when you said Taylor, I was like, ugh. And then I saw in the comments Jeff be like, you scared the shit out of me. Matt Adams said you scared the shit out of me. Like a couple people had said things, and I'm like, I think what she's realizing is what she did was highly fucking weird. And then you took it upon yourself to give yourself this self-imposed exile that nobody was going to put on you. Nobody was going to ask you. I was barely even going to give a fuck that happened because honestly, it was interesting. My main thing after that happened, there were two things that popped in my head. The first thing was I need to let them know that we need to be careful with optics because this guy drove... I'll tell you the separate thing, but like this guy drove 2 hours to do 5 minutes. And that was my big thing was like, once Brian and I both had conversations where we're like, bro, we're so sorry. And he felt fine with it. I was done with that situation because that was the only person that I cared about in the situation was the guy on stage and the other guy that came with him that drove. Jordan's
the only one that's had a conversation with him after, right?
I had a conversation before, after, and the next fucking day.
I know.
And like, I'm not like, thank you, Joe. If you watch this,
he's not going to.
We really appreciate you coming through from Angola.
Angola.
Yeah, I can't wait to continue to hear your comedy aspirations and rap.
That sounded very genuine.
I hope so because keep coming
Listen,
back.
You're black. If people are rappers, they're going to tell you.
I mean, if ever a time for Brent not to just show up early.
Yeah, right.
Like, Jesus, he already he's like, is that your brother? And
he walked in on CPT.
He did, and I heard that entire conversation. And I was like,
that's hilarious.
Look, I'm gonna be real. This is the only reason I'm taking offense because I was extra nice to this nigga.
I know. And then he still,
to be fair,
he didn't know that's been something that's been brought up at Throwing Intro. Actually, if anything, you should be mad at your fucking wife. She's the one that's perpetuated that joke forever of you guys looking alike.
Oh my God, I know.
People, you walk into
does not help.
her business, place of business, she's like, isn't he look like my fiance or my husband? My fiance at the time, my husband now. Yeah. I'm like, I think after all this is done, I think this was what I was going to do in the first place. It was just going to be a quick thing, but it became like most of the podcast. So this is probably going to be the episode in review. It's supposed to be the year in review. What we originally, year in review. But now it's going to be called probably Airing Grievances.
Yeah. Or is this
reviewing our grievances? But like the reality is we are a family. We're a family of 4 adults in our mid-30s that literally do all kinds of shit together. It costs a ton of money. We make a little bit of money in it, but we never take any of it like legitimately other than for like gas or like to pay for something like walkie-talkies or something. Right. Like none of us get a salary from this. So when people, ask me like, oh, how's it going with the podcast? I'm like, it's costing me money, but you know what? I get to talk to interesting people. It colors my life in such a way that like, I'm not like this beige, because I spent years with a girl where like I wasn't allowed to do shit. Same. And now I can do skits. Same. Now I can do podcasts. Now I can do. We've all been in the creative people stifled by, other than Brian. We've all been creative people stifled by our lives in some way. And I think that what the Kokomo Press has meant to me, and I think probably a little bit to each of you, is it's a place where every single week I can know that I'm going to hang out with like-minded people that want to be creative. We can talk out jokes, talk out scenarios, say, hey, I have this idea, and even if we never filmed the fucking idea, at least we got to say it to people that are going to be like, ooh, that's awesome, and then validate our fucking thoughts. And to me, that is the whole point of why we do what we do. And yeah, fucking money and meetings suck, but we probably won't do them, to be honest. Well, it'll probably end up.
They don't suck. We just have to. I think we just. What are they? We have to organize a little bit better between us collectively and understand that, like.
I wasn't complaining about it. I was just saying it's a lot we didn't do before we started this year.
Oh yeah.
So it's like changing our entire schedules and everything, and trying to get everything like. Everybody it's mainly my kids, because I get my kids like during the week mostly, and like on the weekends they stay with their people.
Yeah, but
and
then the weekends are so hard for everybody because like if you have a plan to go to a wrestling show and then you have a plan to go,
we also have weekends every fucking week.
The bad part is Mondays work for me because generally Kim works late.
Yeah.
Kids got shit, so like it's just any other day. It's like I'm just like I can carve out that hour.
Yeah. I try to be here every week I can.
Did you guys notice we had people downstairs at like 6:15 this week?
Very early. Is there an issue with our flyers or like
no? I think what happens is they walk in the front door, and this is what we need to do. And this is something. Shut the fucking door and don't turn the sign. And we'll wait till 7 to turn the sign. Okay. The problem is we've already had people that know we're down there. I think we don't need to leave the door open, and we don't need to have. They always set the sign up early to be nice. I think that's something that we can fix. Also,
I usually turn the sign when I get there because
how early can I mean? Is 6 p.m. too early to get there?
I like 6 5:30 to 6.
I do too.
But with
6 is fine.
With running 9 hours though, it's been really hard. It's hard for me to get off of work at 4:30, go home, and I've only experienced like once this time.
Yeah.
Go home, shower because I smell like fucking factory.
I'm cool with doing the meeting on Thursdays now that we're downstairs. The problem was when we originally broached the conversation, we were upstairs, and it just didn't make sense because we couldn't shut a door and say nobody come down here, whereas we're in a main area, and then what would happen is we'd be in the middle of talking about something, and Sage would come in and want to talk because she misses us.
Or Sean.
Sean.
Nothing against Sean.
Sean's a part of this.
Yeah,
but it's like when it's the 4 of us, it's the 4 of us.
Yeah. You've brought him up before. I would just not me. Don't put me under the fuck.
Well, in our meeting.
No, it's
if
true.
It's not like
it's
a
true.
like special production meeting or something.
If we have a specific thing we need to talk about that, like maybe we're bringing something in and we don't want anybody except for the forest to be involved in. And it's not that I don't want Sean to hear most of it.
I was teasing. I didn't.
No, Brian. If you hate Sean, just say.
I love Sean.
I brought up Sean too.
I have a medium-sized love for Sean.
I have a medium-sized.
It's not too big or too small. No,
medium-sized Sean. I love medium-sized Sean. No, I honestly, the truth of the whole thing is I love you guys. I don't want you to leave for any reason, even for a minute.
See, the thing is
hold on, let me finish my beautiful thing here.
We'll end on everybody's small words.
Yeah. Listen, I love you guys. I want you guys to be a part of this at all times. We're going to get frustrated with each other. I think there's proper ways to talk to each other where that we don't instigate it further, or proper ways to handle it where we don't make it a bigger deal than it needs to be. And I'm learning as well, in order to like speak to you guys in your love languages or in your friend, let's call them friend languages. Everybody has friend languages, certain ways I can talk to certain people. If I have a problem with Brian, like me and Brian got into it a little bit recently, like we kind of had a thing, and it was because of the stupid meeting thing. And it was like, but he called me, he's like, well, let's talk about it. And we talked about it, and that was it. And I was like, okay, I feel better because I got to explain to him why I was frustrated. But that's how he deals with it. If I explain to you why I'm frustrated with you, sometimes you get like,
You had girl. Let's be honest. You had girl brain.
Yeah,
You had girl brain.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But don't call me dad.
Don't call me dad.
Courtney, what are your final words of the season, of the podcast season? Say whatever.
I don't know. I don't have anything to say.
Any goals for the next for 2025?
See, I don't know if I want to be a comedian, but
Yeah.
I would like to be able to get comfortable with being on stage more.
Okay.
You will.
My problem is my confidence is just really like not good, since like you said, this is like their first year where I've been allowed to like, or maybe like 2 years now that
Yeah.
I've been allowed to leave my house and do things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like you.
Yeah, a little baby,
Like,
yeah.
and also I be allowed to be your friend.
Yeah.
So this is a new thing. We haven't been like able to hang out.
Yeah.
Like close, like we have our entire friendship.
It was nice to drive out to a random bar in Windfall and just hang
It
out and be
was.
friends and
And it
hang out with
was.
people and then walk away from each other and come back and
Yeah.
talk and joke. And it's nice because we haven't been able to do that for many years.
Yeah.
But the last couple of years, it's been nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Brian? Is there anything that you're? I will say I do have one thing that I would one goal I have for you, Courtney, for the next year, and whether or not it gets accomplished, it's completely up to you. It's fine, but I would love to see you host one of our showcases. Like I'd love to see you go up there and have 5 minutes that you're comfortable with, and host the showcase and do the whole thing, and not feel like at the end of the day you're like, I was just like, I want you to be happy with it.
No, that's what I'm working on. And like with the acting stuff and
Yeah.
all that stuff, I feel like I'm slowly getting to where I'm comfortable with myself.
Yeah.
And that's my problem, is I just have to like stop overthinking everything that I do.
Yeah.
But I'm a woman.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's why you guys have all that extra brain up there. It's to overthinking.
yeah.
What about you, Brian? Anything that what's your goal for 2025? Anything
My
from
goal-
last year that you're like, hey, I want to blah blah blah.
My goal from 2025 is to have more viral posts, to have more likes, have more follows, to run more cities, to the showcases we do now, to keep bringing the same kind of energy and things that we have to those showcases, keep doing that. And like I said, get some more showcases. There's so much stuff I want to do, but I definitely want to I want to have a hell of a year writing.
Yeah.
2025 for the page. That's
yeah.
my main goal after anything. And
That's why he's the
open
head
mic,
writer.
Yeah, and the open mic. Yeah,
That's why you're the head writer
the head writer.
and head giver. What about you, Bill?
I want us to help more people.
Yeah?
And do,
Nah, no, I'm just
okay.
I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just playing around.
I want us to find more creative ways to help people, whether it's to continue putting people on like we do with the podcast and
Yeah.
things like that. I would like to maybe make a collective effort to reach out to more people outside of Howard County, outside of Kokomo,
Yeah.
and bridge that gap between like artists and things like that all throughout Central Indiana.
Yeah.
So
This last year, I feel like with the mic, that's one thing we've been able to do is
Yes.
network with people outside of Kokomo,
had
specifically.
great praise.
We've had some people come on the show from, Lafayette, some people from Muncie, from people as far away as, Indianapolis and stuff. So. Angola come all the way through. So I think the networking of this show, that's one thing that I did want to throw out there as well. What? That's something weird. That's one thing I did want to throw out as well. One of the positives of the open mic at the end of the day is the fact that we get to meet new people that do what we do or a version of what we do and kind of figure it out. Also, I think if I'm going to say this and then we'll end it. My goal for the next year is to blow up and act like I don't know nobody. I'm just kidding. Let's try to get 50K in the next couple of years. I think that's what I want.
So. Yeah,
I think 27,000. Do you guys? We haven't had a conversation. 27,000. We hit 27,000.
Wow.
Officially. We're officially hit 27,000. So let's say that we've done things that no other group that I know of is doing. in this small little fucking town. I see people celebrating people that do what we do in Indy, and we're doing it in a tiny little town with way less people, way less resources, way less fucking everything.
Yeah.
And as much as, is going on in this tiny ass town, I think at the end of the day, between the four of us, if we can have conversations and we can make sure that we set goals and we're honest with each other, at the end of the day, we need to be honest with each other about things that we want, things that we don't want, things that we're interested in, we're not interested in. I think at the end of the day, I think we're going to be successful because there's too much talent in this room not to be bigger. Yeah. Okay, there's too much talent on this one. Cordy looked at me like, "Where's the talent?"
I'm like, hold on, what am I?
I'm just kidding. One of the leading stars of Marawambi's over here, which you didn't bring up for the last year, which is something great. You guys, we've all were in it, but you had a pretty big role. You had a really big role. There's a whole crux of a film where you end up the part of it. I mean, I know you haven't seen it, but it's a big thing to me. If I'd have had that role, I would have I'd be jizzing on it. I'd be like, yeah, so this is who I am in the movie.
I don't show up to the premieres. I'm a player.
I'm a player. Are we all going to be at the 21st?
I'll be there. Mm-hmm. I got tickets.
Yep.
So this will be the first time we're all there.
We're going early to do their music video if you want to come with us.
I'm probably going to just because
I'm staying. I'm making an evening of it. I'm staying after night and stuff. It sucks. So I'll probably get this doesn't matter. I'm probably going to get forced though. So I'm going to have to leave from there to the show.
Just go get some FMLA. That's my plan for when they start forcing me.
Yeah. No, she's not. It's because she's sick. It's because she has a really bad.
She like bad bitches too.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, if we still have jobs next year, we'll do this again next year.
Yay.
All right. Let's wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. I am Jordan Danger Grainger of the Kokomo Press. Over here in the red chair, we have
Hypocrisy Jones.
There you go. In our black chair,
Brian West.
And in the green chair,
I don't know how to make. Should I do the blood? No.
That's not even.
She's suspended. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Kokomo Press Podcast. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Year in review, airing grievances.
Ooh.
Medium-sized grievances. Thank you for watching the Kokomo Press Podcast. We really appreciate you hanging out with us. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share, and tell all your friends about it. Because when people know about us, we get to continue to bring new, great, exciting things to you. And if you really want to support us, you can actually go on to Facebook and you can become an official subscriber. It's only $4.99 a month, and you get a lot of access to us. You get to tell us good jokes, tell us all the things you want to, and you're going to get access to new videos, merch, all kinds of things. And if you just want to support us in another way, maybe wear a shirt, wear a hat, something like that, check out kokomopress.shop. It's a brand new store we have set up. It's got all our merchandise needs. It's going to have limited run t-shirts, limited run hats. Go check it out right now. Thank you so much for hanging out with the Kokomo Press on the Kokomo Press Podcast. See you soon. 2 kisses.